return. Welcome, everybody, to Friday Night Syncretism with yours truly, Kate of Gaia. Of course, Tony, Z, and Santo, just waiting for a tag back from him, which I think he's already done. And just got to get Tony on the board here. Just trying to get my computer back up in some semblance of operational structure. Yeah, there's Tony. Got him. And unmuted. There we go. And just waiting for Santo. And no tag yet. I just tagged him, so might be in the middle of breakfast. It is, after all, 10 a.m. where he is. 7 p.m. here, so while we're talking about supper, they're talking about, breakfast victuals. So there you go. How you doing, Tony?
Not too bad, Kate. Yourself?
A couple of nails home with regards to this name fraud, both ways. So that's the hard part, trying to see the balance in it so that it's a singularity, not a us versus them, because actually we've been at war with ourselves over all of this, and this is what I've been trying to get codified down into a point where people, without ego, you'll never get this if you got ego. Sorry, that's just a fact. Those without ego will get it, because you see, this game is all about letting go. Boy, have we let go of a lot of stuff, eh? Just a little. Anyway, didn't get much of a chance to post the link out through Facebook, but I think most people know where we are on Friday nights now anyway. The phone board is lit up to the nines here, so we're already rolling on that, which is good. We like that. Oh, yeah, there. Santo's ready, so I'm going to pull him in. Pulling you in now. There we go. Oops. It usually helps if I have my keyboard plugged in. But the computer seems to be working a whole lot better. And by the way, guys, been having a lot of trouble with Facebook as far as typing. I don't know about you guys. I'll try to answer messages, and of course it takes 2 or 3 minutes just for the page to load. And then, of course, when I click on where you have to type, I sometimes have to refresh to get that to work. And now when I do type, it likes to miss out every other letter or so, and space bar, and I have to. So typically, a one-sentence reply takes between 5 and 10 minutes, and it's very frustrating. So if I don't get back to you, it's not because I don't love you. It's just because, I could do 6 replies and take me an hour to do it. And quite frankly, there's a lot of stuff can be done in an hour, especially with the trail that we're on right now. Oh, here we go. I've just got to save something here, so let me pull Santo into the call, seeing as I would. I just have to grab something. Yeah, I got the bandwidth, no problem. Just got to grab something from him. I imagine he is going to be talking about it tonight, so it'd be nice to have it. And then I can pass it over to you, Tony. And okay, he wants me to see what he's working on. All right, so I'm just going to bring Santo into the call, and there we go. Let's see how far we get tonight. We got bumped right off the air last night, and I know why. Well, of course, we get the typical no harm, no foul to Blog Talk. I guess if they're getting beat up a little bit, the net result is we get hacked on this end too. But isn't it funny? 2 Thursdays in a row, we got knocked right off the air an hour in. Santo.
Yeah.
I tried to mute before that was just creeping up on me, and mid-sentence, as I'm going to sneeze. So anyway, how are you doing?
Great. Yourself?
Good. I guess you're getting pretty excited there. Yeah, heading out. It's about lunchtime Monday our time here, and which is Tuesday your to be in Ecuador on Wednesday. Yeah.
Yeah. Wednesday I'll be in Ecuador on the 1st.
Excellent. And shields are up, baby. You're flying with the angels. No question. Yeah. But I just got the wheel, so I haven't had a chance to crack it open yet. So I trust that's something that you're working on.
Yeah. Well, I'll probably want to talk a bit about that today, Kate, if that's okay, because.
Oh, absolutely. That's why I grabbed it. So I said before I pulled you in, I said I know what Santo wants to talk about, so I better grab the picture so I know what he's talking about. I'll pass it over to Tony as well, so that everybody has it. That's in the call, and we do have a lot of callers here. And there have been some people have contacted me regarding getting their charts read and stuff like that. I gotta be like blunt, guys. It is nigh on impossible for me to take messages and to pass on to somebody else. It's like which I'll do my absolute best. Just remember that I'm probably the easiest one to contact, and as a net result, everyone contacts me to get in touch with everybody, which is no problem to a certain extent. But I got to tell you, it's just getting very, very hard. I just don't want anyone to be offended if they feel like I forgot them or left them out. It's just sheer volume now, guys. I'm having a hell of a time just keeping up with... I haven't even checked my email yet today. Got my computer all cleaned up. It seems to be working a whole lot better. So there you go. So let me grab this little file here and crack it open. And I do want to cover a couple of things tonight, because I know there's a lot of people interested in where I've been mentally and trying to solve this duality to singularity thing that we've been dealing with in terms of the courts and whatnot. So it's about turning the tables back over in the temples. It's not an easy concept. It's very simple, actually, but it's just not very easy to explain, because there's a whole lot of letting go. Oh, you haven't been working too hard at all, have you? Oh my God, look at the wheel. All right, Tony, I'm sent over to you. You can panic next. That's beautiful, man. That's beautiful. Santo, you know what, man? You and your wheels. Honest to God. It's beautiful.
Right. Yeah. Well, this is what I'm going to be presenting in Ecuador. And a website will be built based on this wheel. And it will be the most advanced astrological website in history. What it will have is this, because the listeners, of course, can't see the image. So imagine my wheel that I have in my presentations with Adam Kadmon inside and all the constellations that relate to it, starting from Aries to Pisces in the feet. So imagine that, and then just imagine another deep layer of information on top of that. Are you still with me?
Oh yeah, I'm just listening here. No, I have to cancel the one in our chat here. I'm grabbing the other one, the 23 meg one, while you're talking. So carry on.
Yeah. Okay. So, and this other deep layer is stuff that you don't get when you're doing an astrological chart on any website these days. They just show you the planets and the aspects. So, you see a chart, and there's the planets. There's Jupiter trining with Saturn. There's the Sun in Aquarius, and so that's the only information that you get. Then you've got to have your Ptolemaic chart of essential dignities to check what terms of the Sun in. Because these things are very, very important in astrology. What face or chariot or bound is the Sun in? What dodecatemorion is the Sun in? Is it in feminine degrees or masculine degrees? Is it in dark, smoky, bright, or empty degrees? Is it what element is the Sun in? You see, all of these other things like the dodecatemorions and the terms and the bounds and the triplicities, all of these things, you see, every sign has 12 signs in it, and each one of those 12 signs is further separated by another 12 signs. And much information can be gleaned from these dards or dodecatemorions. You see, they are zodiacs within zodiacs. And so all of this stuff is neglected. Now, what this wheel will do is it will give you everything that you need. Everything. So you click on Sun, and you will know if it's, say, in the first degree, in the 5th degree of Aries, you will know that it's in the term of Jupiter. And you will have the Ptolemaic terms, and you will have the ancient Egyptian terms. So, Kate, looking at the wheel, you see on the very outside of the wheel are all the medical problems by the degree. So, at the outside ring, those are the medical issues from the various degrees, and it tells you the degree around the wheel. Okay?
Yeah, I see it. Beautiful. Wow.
Right. Yeah, so this is color-coded too. Color-coded.
Let me try to describe this to people. The detail that I'm seeing in this will absolutely melt your mind. Promise. It's incredible. It's like it didn't put your last chart on steroids. It just took it right out of the galaxy. This is beyond. This
is beyond anything we have on the planet right now, and I'm putting this out to the universe so that anyone listening that knows a means of putting together a group for the benefit of humanity that will make this website, because I don't really have anyone. And that's what I'm doing this for. I'm putting this out into the ears of the universe. The universe already knows this exists, and this is beautiful.
We have you. Hey, Santa, we already have you sorted, so carry on. Go ahead.
Yeah. Well, what I want to do with this too is this, Kate, and I really want to share some time sharing this with the world before I leave for Ecuador. It's very important to me. This website will also have a section called Same Birthday. Or I may even build a website called samebirthday.com. If anyone's out there that wants to grab that, I haven't even checked if it's available. But it will be something like that. If you want to grab it, pay $20 and grab it for a year, because it's going to happen. This is going to happen. And what people will do is they will offer their information, their date of birth, first and foremostly. Then, after the date of birth, if they know the hour they were born, they can put the hour in. If they know the minute and the second, they can forward that information too. So what this is going to be able to do is it's going to find people from all around the world that offer their information and details to be able to connect with each other. They will offer their Skype details, perhaps, photos, life experiences, how much travel you've had, what sort of illnesses. This is very important. This is very important because we will see information that will confirm this science once and for all. Because people will find that they have very, very many similar and unexplainable circumstances and occurrences and dynamics in their lives. So this is going to be like a community where you can go and meet people that were born on the same day, at the same hour. Now, not everything will be the same because, you'll probably be born at different latitudes. Well, that's going to be, and longitudes. That's going to be, a challenge. There will be some differences, but there will be more similarities that will be unexplainable without the science of astrology. Then I want to do, associated with this, I also want to have a medical website whereby we can actually go to hospitals that are cooperative and get their records. The records of all the patients that have passed away in hospital and the reasons for that, especially the ones that have been operated on, because many people are lost in hospitals due to bleeding to death and so-called accidents. But what this will prove is that doctors are really they're killing people in hospitals because they are not obeying and understanding the laws of nature, and they are very demanding and exacting laws. And just for an example, if a doctor was going to perform brain surgery, when the moon is in Aries, you'll find that the moon being the bleeder, they will have a lot of difficulty under the operating lights with bleeding to the brain. And so this will really put it to the test. And we can put this kind of information into a big computer, and it will provide us with harmonics, and we'll be able to see where the relationships occur, and we will find it.
Hey Santo, quick question: is it okay to share this this chart? Yes.
Well, look, Johnny Guzman needs to be respected here because he would like this information to impact as a novelty in syncretism, because this is the big thing that I've been working on, and he would love to, be able to introduce it.
Okay, no, that's why I'm asking, because I've already got people chomping at the bit here.
Yeah, look, let's wait on that.
We'll wait on it, absolutely, guys. You heard it from the man himself, and absolutely, I will absolutely respect that. I know exactly what you're doing, and yes, by all means. And as soon as you give me the go-ahead, it will get out to thousands very quickly. Yeah.
So, Kate, let me just go over this wheel, and so that I'll try and make it as descriptive as possible, so that the listeners can pretty much envisage all the information that's on there. Okay, so starting from the center, you've got Adam Kadmon wrapped around from the head beginning at the 9 o'clock position, as I usually do in my presentations, and the body swings around with the feet touching the back of the head at Pisces and Aries, where they connect. This is Adam Kadmon.
Yes.
And then you will see around the head, you will see the 12 constellations situated on the head. The head is the hill of Mars. When you go to Rome, the Vatican is the Forum of Rome. Ancient Rome was built on Mars Hill. When you go to Greece, you go to the Areopagus. Ares is Aries, Mars. It's the head. That's the hill. You go to Jerusalem. Jerusalem is also built on a mount called Marwa. Mar is Mars. Every mound on every frickin' city in the world is built on Mars Hill. That's what you'll find. And because it's all about Mars. Mars is Aries, and it's the cerebrum, and it's the temple of the brain. It's the ruler sign of the whole body, right? So, anyway, you'll see that the positions of the constellations are in the head go like this. Aries at the forehead. Then Taurus is the eyebrows and the bovine eyes. Then, of course, Gemini is the nostrils, the twins. And this, you go down. You start at the forehead with Aries, and you go around and do a circle of the head. You go down through the chin, through the throat, to the back of the neck, and up to the back of the head, and that's the circle you draw. Picture this in your mind. And so we're up to Gemini, the nostrils. Then you've got Cancer, the crab. That's your teeth. Then you come to the chin, and that is Leo. That's the heart. You know, people with prominent chins have, a sort of prideful nature. Not in a bad way, not necessarily, but they have, that's the symbol of the pride. That's where the pride projects from. And then Virgo is the throat, of course, and the spinal cord, because Mercury that rules Virgo rules both air, the breathing, the twin lungs. Gemini is the lungs, and the cerebrospinal fluid is mercurial. And so there's Virgo in the throat. Then Libra, the two scales, would be the pyramids at the back of the medulla oblongata, the olives and the pyramids. And Scorpio is the back of the head. Then Sagittarius further up, the back of the head. Capricorn's the ears. Of course, Saturn rules the hearing. You can't, this is, you can't make this stuff up. Anyway, so going out from there, and I won't spend as much time as I did on Adam Cadmon, Kate, you've got the first ring going outward. The first ring is the fall signs, all the planets that fall. For instance, in Aries, you'll notice Saturn. Saturn is purple. That's the colour for the code for Saturn in this chart. And so at the 9 o'clock position there, you will see the symbol of Saturn falling in Aries. Then the next one is the detriment. You see green Venus. Venus is in detriment when she's in Aries. Then the next ring contains the exaltation signs, and you see the sun exalt, yellow for the sun. Then the next ring holds the ruler of the sign, and there you see Mars. Mars, red, the ruler of Aries, the fiery, the erect, phallic, standing erect in the springtime, the blossom. Right, then the next ring is empty. This is probably because my niece Sonia is still putting this together. I mean, I've got 3 days to go and we're still working on this. So the next ring is the fortunate degrees. And you'll notice that the 19th degree of Aries is the only fortunate degree in Aries. Have you noticed that, Kay?
Just bringing it up right now. 19th degree, Aries. Where are we?
9 o'clock position.
Oh no, I've got that. It's I just have to, because of the size of my screen, I have to kind of move it around to find it. So there's Aries and 19th degree. Okay. Well, I'm actually not seeing anything at the 19th degree.
All right. No. Well, so we're at the 1, 2, 3,
got
4,
it.
5, 6th ring from the center. Yeah. Okay. So we're working from the center. We're at the 6th ring. The 5th ring is empty. You'll notice it's empty.
It's empty, yes.
Right. So at the 9 o'clock position, you'll see the 19th degree is highlighted. That is
increasing fortune. Got it.
Yes, increasing fortune. So if you have a planet in the 19th degree of Aries or your ascendant, in particular the sun or the moon, the significatrix is the moon by night. So if you have a night chart, the moon, if she's on this degree, you have increasing fortune. You have much success in your life. John Lennon has his ascendant in the 19th degree of Aries. He has an Aryan ascendant, Mars. You can see that martial combativeness in John Lennon. You see the ram is ascending in his sign. And not only is it ascending, it's ascending in the 19th degree, increasing fortune. So the next ring holds the chronic illnesses. If you have a planet in one of these degrees, you will have chronic illness depending on the nature of the planet and the sign that it's in. Then the next ring has what's called the world degrees. So if you have a planet in a world degree, say Venus, for instance, in the 6th degree of Aries, there will be, there will be a pitted, what Firmicus Maternus describes as a pitted energy towards that planet's driver. For instance, Venus drives love, wisdom, and beauty in your life. So if Venus is found in the 6th degree of Aries, and we already learned that that's the detriment of Venus. She's already in detriment. She's in a world degree. It's like she's in a well. And when you're in a well, unless someone can drag you out of the well, you're going to be stuck in that well. So you can imagine how much that planet suffers. Now, and many people Many of our brothers and sisters are suffering because their planets are in well degrees. And how are they going to know about this unless they've got this information? You know, you can access it. At the click of a button, you will be able to know if you have a planet in a well degree. You'll be able to know if that planet is further suffering by being in detriment or in fall. The next ring, let's continue because I don't want to be talking all day about this.
It's all good. It's all good. This is people are going to love this when they get it. Honestly, it's
at the click of a button, we will have this. And so, at the click of a button, the next ring will tell you if you are in a night chart, which means that the sun is below the horizon when you were born, so the sun has set, or it has not yet risen, and you were born and commenced breathing. That's the night chart. So this ring is coloured blue because it tells you the rulers of the triplicities of that particular sign. So in other words, the night rulers of Aries are Jupiter, first, Sun, second, Saturn, third, in that order. And then the next ring is red because it tells you the rulers, the lords of that fire element air by day. And they are the Sun first, then Jupiter, then Saturn. So you can click on that and you will know that the Sun is the first lord and significator, because these three lords give you further information about the meaning of that sign and the planet that is found therein. Then the next ring tells you the deacons, the faces, the bounds. Every sign is divided into 10-degree slots. And so the first deacon you'll see is coloured blue because the first deacon belongs to Cassiopeia. Cassiopeia is the first deacon in Aries, and it's blue because she is a northern constellation. She is north of the ecliptic. The next deacon, the middle one, is red, and the red ones are coded because they are the southern constellations. Now there's 36 deacons around this 360-degree ring, of course. 36 is a fractal of 360 degrees. So, and these are the 36 chariots, the bounds. And you will notice that Mars rules the first bound, then the Sun, then Venus. And you can tell the order of these bounds because the planets follow the order of their rulership. Saturn is first in order because he is the slowest of the planets. Then Jupiter, then Mars, then the Sun, then Venus, then Mercury, then the Moon. So if you find Saturn there in Taurus, Kate, the blue deacon, you will see there that after Saturn comes Jupiter, then Mars, then the Sun, then Venus. So you see that there's order in those deacons. You will also notice, beginning at Aries at 9 o'clock, that the first deacon contains the word skull in it, because the first 10 degrees Aries concerning the skull. Then the middle deacon is migraines. Arians with their problematic migraine. Then the next deacon is
concentration. You cut out there, Perseus. Concentration.
Yeah, Perseus is the Lord, is the deacon, and in the head, in Adam Kadmon, it concerns the concentration. Then the next ring, Kate, you will notice contains the bright degrees, the dark, the smoky, and the empty degrees. That will further be colour-coded. Sonia is working on that as we speak. Then the next ring contains the dards, the dodecatemorions, the zodiac within the zodiac. So in other words, in Aries, in 30 degrees of Aries allocated to that sign on the ecliptic, you will find that there are a further 12 signs of the zodiac, beginning with Aries and ending with Pisces. When you go to Taurus, the dodecatemorions begin with Taurus and end with Aries.
Circle of fifths.
Exactly, just like you do with music and the circle of fifths. Okay, so, see, musicians get this because this music is one of the sciences, languages of the quadrivium. Okay? Astrology and astronomy is another one of the 4 languages of the quadrivium. So musicians are right in there. Okay? Now, the next ring contains the masculine and feminine degrees, and the masculine degrees are white, the feminine degrees are black, yin and yang, or, well, you're familiar with the yin and yang colours of white and black. Okay. Then the next outer rings the first ring contains the Ptolemaic degrees, and then the outer ring is the more ancient Hermetic, and they're both Hermetic. This is Hermetic science, folks. What you're getting with syncretism is tropical, Hermetic, biblical, Western astrology. And you can rest assured that it is 100% pure science, and it is 100% accurate and reliable. Okay? Regardless of all the other beautiful astrological languages that are kicking around, this does not qualify any of them. But this is perfection, and you can make all of your astrological you can glean all of your astrological wisdom and knowledge from this wheel. So the outer ring is the Egyptian, and you'll notice that they don't perfectly coincide, syncretize. Okay, we're allowing for that because with this wheel we are not excluding Jyotish, star-based astrology. We are not going to exclude any other languages. We can put Mayan over this. We can put Chinese over this. It's easy. I can do it. I've done it. Okay, so, and then the very, very outer ring contains all of the degrees. For instance, you will notice that the 3rd and 4th degree of Aries is goiter. So this is thyroid. Then in the 6th and 7th degree of Aries is jaundice. Then in the 9th to the 12th degree of Aries, fevers. Of course Arians are going to have fevers. Then in the 15th and 16th degree of Aries, stroke. Yes, Arians are prone to stroke. This is if you have Saturn squaring with Mars in Cancer on that degree of Aries, the 15th degree of Aries, you will probably have a chronic situation there with strokes, because Saturn is Kronos, and he gives cold, dry, chronic conditions to the body. And this is science that everybody has gone a-missing, because you've got quackademics telling you that this is pseudoscience, and you've got the priests of Baal, good little foot soldiers, mostly pedophiles too, by the way. Interesting that. We've got if you want to arrest the corruption and crime and evil of this world that is against this science reaching our ears and hearts and blessing us with the science of light, and the Jyotish astrologers, what we call Hindu and Vedic astrologers, they use the word Jyotish. And do you know what Jyotish means, people? It means this: the science of light. That's what, if you punch in your browser and put the word Jyotish and meaning, you will get the science of light. And the people that don't want us to have this light, I can tell you where to find them. It's easy. Round up all the pedophiles on this planet and put them in jails, deal with them, do whatever it's got to be done, and we will have peace forevermore on this planet. And we will have Jyotish, we will have astrology, and we will be blessed. We will be blessed. If that word has the same meaning to your ears as it does to mine, then that's what you will find. You will find Sat Chit Ananda, blessing, existence, and bliss. Consciousness, existence, and bliss. Because that is all our heart's desire, and that is our divine right as children of light. Anyway, that's all I need to say.
Oh, it's beautiful. And someone had mentioned earlier in one of the rooms here, I'm just going down to get the quote, because as soon as you said it, I said, so much for that. Lambertus, you owe everyone in the room, and I think there's over 300, €10 each. That Santos not going to use the word pedophiles today. He seems calm and collected. I love it. But it's true, though. You know, this is our woes are on this planet. The darkest aspect of it is the raping of children, and I mean that from not just the physical, but from the spiritual. You see, because every one of us, and I'm going to tie this right together with what I've been working on. Waiting for the clarity on it, but I'll share as much as I can to get the concept out. You see, they stole our divine feminine creative spiritual essence with the Regis stir, right? That was given up willingly. That's why it was called a given name, and it was given away. It's a gift. There's no consideration. You don't own it. And the more you fight to say it's yours, the more intent you are placing on that name, and guess what that intent is? That's your spiritual will. That's how they own your creative essence. And you will fight, and you will fight, and you will fight to say, that's my name. No, it's not. Your mom and dad came up with you.
And Kate,
yeah.
Can I please just interject, please?
Yeah, go.
Yeah, and the people that are doing this to us are pedophiles.
Yes, that's exactly the point, because they're... Please put this into perspective, guys. It's pretty easy. We can really have peace. We just need to round the pedophiles up. Now, do you remember that guy in Great Britain who is one of David Icke's friends, I think? What's his name, please? Can someone help us? Oh, that was the gentleman, what's his name? Isle of Wight. The Isle of Wight guy.
Yes, Isle of Wight. Who is that guy? We need his name.
I will find it for you.
Right.
I've got his video, so...
Because when we do get serious about blessing our little children who are being raped by this gang of I'll tell you who they are. You'll find these people, these types, in the governing body of the Jehovah's Witnesses.
So they're not letting you.
The Jimmy Savile affair, that tells you people. These people are pedophiles. It's a gang of pirates, the Hudson Bay Pirates, the East India Pirates. It's the bar. They are pedophiles. They are murderers. They need to be rounded up. It's because our children are suffering, and we can have this beautiful astrology, and they can too. And if they want to repent and say, yep, that's enough, well, you know, we are the most forgiving ones, that they will be forgiven. They will have a chance to embrace the peace that's coming and the bliss that's coming, and it's coming. But they need to be put on notice now, Kate.
Absolutely. I'm still looking for that name for you, so just give me a second here.
Yeah, because we need to, when we decide to get serious, we need to give him the job of telling us the addresses and where they live. And there's people that know where they live, and we can peacefully approach these pedophiles. Queen Elizabeth's one of them, and we can say, listen, Queen, we know your establishment is corrupt and putrid, and you are a bunch of sodomizers. because that's what they are, folks. We need to now address this, because the beauty is here. The beauty is here. We've won, but they still want to pull off, false flag events like Boston, and rub that in the noses of the conscious portion of humanity, so that they can prevent us from ascending. No, that's not going to happen. They can kill Giordano Bruno on the 17th of February in the year 1600, but they cannot do it anymore. Giordano Bruno is back, and Giordano Bruno is going to go to the Vatican, and he's going to go up to Bergoglio, the pedophile sodomizer, and he's going to say, Popey Poos, we need to have a little chat. That's what's going to happen. We will not let our brother Giordano Bruno have died in vain, folks. They snuffed out the Renaissance. They snuffed out the Huguenots. They the Cathars, the troubadours, and they ain't going to snuff us out this time. And it's back. Syncretism is back.
Oh, exactly. Knocked you off a little bit there with the list. The Huguenots and the Cathars, we got that. So I'm just wondering other groups. Yeah, again, it's
the Bogomils.
Yep.
The Albigenses. Look this up, folks. Look up Pierre Valdez in the 12th century. He wrote to the Pope at the time. He was a prominent Catholic cleric. And he wrote and he said, can I preach the gospel in, I think it's Lyons, France, in the south of France, the Languedoc region. And these people, the Waldenses, I think they're still in existence in the hills, in the Alps of Italy. Still, the Waldenses, you can find them, but they really virtually snuffed them out. And these were groups of people that were Hermetists. That's what they were. They were enlightened, ascended. They were communities off the grid, and they didn't want a part of the papacy. And the papacy, remember, the Albigenses, in one instance, there were 30,000 of them, and they were all huddled into this building or into this town. And the Crusaders that were destroying the Albigenses, the Cathars, they wrote to the Pope and asked, what shall we do with this group that we have encircled, because there are Catholics amongst them? Shall we go in and find the Waldenses and pluck them out and kill them one by one? And the Pope, the famous words, the retort of the Pope was, kill them all, let God sort them out.
Yeah, well, we know their God. The child-murdering, jealous, don't worship anything outside of me, vengeful God. That one?
It is. It's a pedophile, monotheistic... See, the monotheism is an aberration. That's not God. You don't invent a personal saviour, this vicarious bullshit. It's not on.
Yeah, and you certainly don't stick a penis on it. That's the whole thing about dismembering. We're here to dismember, not to remember, okay? And it goes right back to what you're saying about pedophiles. Of course they're going to kidnap the children. That's what they do, and they've been literally child snatching from the parents before, in cases now, before they even get out of the womb. They want the kids registered before they're even born. So again, this is about taking back the child, the divine feminine essence. That's why I had to nullify the register. I rule my own divine feminine. Sorry. I will not interfere in matters of state, because it's the crown fighting the crown. And when you understand that, judges and lawyers and all the rest of these idiots, they're actually in fraud using their own names as well, fighting against. So look what they've done to us. They've got us all fighting each other instead of the one dark principality that we need to erase that has us fighting each other. You see, because if anyone's coming against you to make a claim using a name, they're in fraud as well. So it's and still owned. Their divine essence is still owned. Me, no, not any longer. You see, because I will never give my name to anyone. You see, without consideration ever. It's mine. I chose it for me. I gave it to me, and I haven't given it to anyone else. I have shared the sound of it with others, but that's mine. That's my customary calling, and it doesn't have a legal attachment to it, and it certainly doesn't have a spiritual attachment to it either. I reclaimed my divine feminine. End of story, and that's what I'm working on, to show people how they can reclaim their divine feminine. You just got to get the idea that the name that you think is yours isn't, and when you fight for it, you're just feeding it energy, and you're feeding that dark principality that energy that has you enslaved. So this is about literally letting go. What do I do, Kate? What do I do? I've got a name. He says, well, you know what? I had to deal with it too. And the longer we all wait, the longer I sit on a hill vulnerable along with a few others of us that actually get this concept. But don't worry, I've got the information that I've been working on, and really what it boils down to is those that have harmed me were actually acting in fraud using a name, so it was actually the church state that harmed me, because these individuals are owned lock, stock, and barrel by the state, so it's not them. So, forgive them, for they know not what they do, right? They don't even know who the hell they are. Have some pity on these morons. Seriously.
Yep. They've already been forgiven, because we are all forgiving. We don't do what they do to us. Kate, let me just add something here too. Please, if you've got a browser open, folks, I know this is not this is not future thinking and really what we call positive subject, but we need to address this. If you pull up a browser and you punch in the words 10 worst emperors, you will get a list of the 10 worst emperors that, some group voted to be the worst emperors that the Roman Empire has ever produced. And at the top of the list, of course, we have Caligula. Okay, so if you've got that browser open, I'm going to read the very, very short description or information that history has bequeathed to us about this Roman elite Caligula, and I want to introduce you to the real rulers of this world. They haven't gone away. These types, they're still around, okay? This is what it says. Little Boots. That was his nickname, Caligula, Little Boots. Took the throne on the death of his second cousin, Tiberius. We'll get to Tiberius too. He was the one that used to go down to Pompeii, and he would have a little pool in his... and he would have all these little boys naked, and they would be swimming in the pool, and they would all take turns at enjoying Tiberius's,
illness.
Bits. Let's put it that way.
We'll call it illness. His psychopathy.
Yeah, so Tiberius is gone, in comes Caligula, something of a great uncle to him. So Tiberius, something of a great uncle to him. Some say Caligula ordered the head of the Praetorian guard to smother him with a pillow. Oh, that's interesting. Okay, upon his ascension, everyone in the empire rejoiced. For the first 7 months or so, he was loved by all. He paid handsome bonuses to the military to get them on his side, and recalled many whom Augustus and Tiberius exiled. Yeah, look into Augustus too, because he was a killer. But he became very sick in October of 37, and the disease has never been pinned down. Philo blames it on his extravagant lifestyle of too much food, wine, and sex. After the disease passed and Caligula made a full recovery, he had turned into one of the most evil men in human history. Some Jewish, Christian and Muslim historians of centuries afterward even considered that Caligula might have been possessed by a demon. He has been accused of the most awesomely disgusting, insane, luridly depraved crimes against humanity and mortality. Now, while I'm reading this, bear in mind that Queen Elizabeth is of this family. They haven't gone away. The Rothschilds, the Rockefellers, they are all of this Roman elite. George Bush, Bill Clinton, any of these guys I name, they could easily just have an audience with the Pope at the drop of a hat. All they've got to do is rock up at Rome, hop in a jet, fly to Rome. Bill Clinton can just walk straight up to the Pope. Wouldn't even need an invitation. Why? Because it's the same family of pedophile criminals. Comes straight from Caligula. They tell you that. Anyway, sorry to digress. And this lister is sorry to say that the accusations are all probably true. Absolutely true, sorry. He began ordering the murders of anyone who had ever crossed him or even disagreed with him on mundane matters. He had a very good memory. He exiled his own wife. He proclaimed himself a god, dressing up as Apollo, Venus, a goddess, Mercury, and Hercules. He demanded that everyone, from senators to guards to guests and public crowds, refer to him as divine in his presence. When he was a boy, a seer told him that he would never be emperor until he walked on water. So he built a pontoon bridge across the Bay of Naples, put on the breastplate of Alexander the Great, and paraded night and day across the bay, throwing lavish sex orgies in the light of bonfires. He attempted to instate his favourite horse, Insatitus, Galloper, nicknamed Galloper, Insatitus, as a priest and consul, and ordered a beautiful marble stable built for him, complete with chairs and couches on which Insatitus never sat. Once, at the Circus Maximus, the games ran out of criminals, and the next event was the lions, his favourite. He ordered his guards to drag the first 5 rows of spectators into the arena, which they did. These hundreds of people were all devoured for his amusement. A citizen once insulted him to his face in a fit of rage, and Caligula responded by having him tied down and beaten with heavy chains. He made this last for 3 months, having the man brought out from a dungeon and beaten until Caligula and the crowds that gathered were too offended by the smell of the man's gangrenous brain, whereupon he was beheaded. Caligula's favourite torture was sawing, which topped another list on this site. The saw blade filleted the spine and spinal cord from crotch down to chest, and the victim was unable to pass out due to excess blood to the brain. He also relished chewing up the testicles of victims without biting them off while they were restrained upside down before him. He had another insulter and his entire family publicly executed one after another in front of a crowd. The man and wife were first, followed by the oldest child, and so on. The crowd became outraged and began to disperse, but many stayed in morbid fascination. The last of the family was a 12-year-old girl who was sobbing hysterically at what she had been forced to watch. A member of the crowd shouted that she was exempt from execution as a virgin. Caligula smiled and ordered the executioner to rape her, then strangle her, which he did. He publicly had sex with his 3 sisters at banquets and games, sometimes on the table amid the food. He was finally murdered by the Praetorian Guard and some senators, leaving the Circus Maximus after the games. His body was left in the street to rot, and dogs finally ate it. He had ruled for 4 years. Friends, I'm sorry to have read that, but, you know, I mean, I was invited onto the show, so I guess, you know.
Santo, this is your show, and never apologize for handing people the truth of what we're dealing with. And, you know, this is what we have been dealing with. And it goes right back to the whole, never mind the executions, it's the pedophilia, it's this psychopathy that if you're gonna harm a child, everything else to me is secondary. You know, so no, this is Syncretism Friday night. This is your show. We hang out.
Remember back in Boston, probably in the 30s, I think, this story. Sacco and Vanzetti, I think that's the name, Vanzetti. Someone may be able to correct me. But anyway, you see, the Boston bombings occurred at the same time as an incident happened that 2 Italian immigrants that were wishing to be self-determined back in the day were caught by the authorities in Boston, and they were electrocuted. Interesting, isn't it? When you want to be self-determined, you get electrocuted.
Imagine that.
And who by? By pedophiles. It's a hierarchical, patriarchal, pedophile, top-heavy gang of thugs, pirates, killers, the Mossad, the CIA, the Bilderbergers, the Trilateralists. They're all a bunch of thugs. Goldman Sachs, they always turn up, these very powerful reptilian scum of the earth, at the CEO position of all of these criminal corporations. And I encourage the listeners to get into Laura Eisenhower. Please listen to, spread her information far and wide. She has busted these reptilians. She has busted them, and her great-grandfather will be very, very proud looking down onto his beautiful great-granddaughter. And she's exposing these reptilian creeps and the pedophiles and what they're doing with their military-industrial complex. We are going to war, so-called war, and it's private firms that are going out there doing all the bloodshedding for the Vatican and the Jesuits, and for the pedophiles that are enjoying the cocktail parties while we are sending our beautiful children off to, I don't know, you know, blow the heads off strange-looking people. I mean, Iraqis look strange, don't they? I mean, they're not the same colour as, well, white. So, you know, they look different. I urge the listeners to look at the lyrics of Bob Dylan. John Brown went off to war. You know, John Brown, his mother was so proud when he left. You know, he hopped onto that train and she shouted out, "Oh, my son is off to war, and I'm so proud that he's wearing a gun. You know, make me proud, son, and bring back some medals." Yeah, he came back with medals, but minus a few limbs, you know, so the mother didn't recognise. Ran, he says, "There you go, Mama." You know, I was the one that was shooting people, and I was wondering what I was doing, popping their heads off when they looked just like me when they came up close. And the military-industrial complex is a scam. It's a Ponzi scheme. And everyone who has stocks on the stock market is participating in people trafficking, and it's time that we just stop participating now. And
well, it's a form of cannibalism, and that's what people need to get. Talking with anyone, I was actually talking with someone yesterday. One of the neighbors walking around, I had a chance to talk with her on occasion, and she was in the bank talking about her her investments where they're ultra conservative, and that she makes enough. And the first thought that came to my head is you have no idea that you are literally cannibalizing your fellow man, and worshiping false prophets. And how do you get this across to people? And she's actually quite awake. So this is a very difficult thing, and this is where I have to put a lot of faith in the listeners, the ones that are tuned in, and I mean tuned in literally and figuratively. This is where we have to be the ones to make the choice. In a discussion with Scottish friend Ian, talking about free will choice, and of course I've been having difficulty on Facebook replying to anyone, so I get very frustrated when I want to put an answer in, and I can't because it won't type out, and of course the answers are short and can be misleading and whatever. But the bottom line is this: free will choice, and I talk about this, as he says, all the time. You see, we have a free will choice, and it's to either climb the ladder or to descend the ladder. You want to be one of these murderous meat sticks. You haven't earned humanity, and that has been your free will choice. You see, that is the free will choice, that you decide whereabouts in this universe you want to be. Because the universe is all around you. It's already there. There is no free will choice in changing it. The only free will choice we have is where you wish to be within it. And there's plenty of interesting things for those that wish to, and I hate using the word because ascension is literally going up into the heaved up, the heaven, as you say, Santo, Aries, the mind, into the head, where others are, getting heaved down to whatever levels they want to. And that is their free will choice. Where they play in the game, where we play in the game, is our free will choice. And that's it. If you want to be an animal, then expect to be, getting into that realm. If evil is what you're into, well, there's your free will choice. And you judged yourself. And we have to be awake and aware enough to look ourselves in the eye, in the mirror, and say that. He says, what is my objective here? Is am I out to profit from other people? Am I out to, get one over on the Joneses? Do I need to have the bigger car than the neighbor? And again, these are all ego tricks. And you can look around you at the very, very sleepy masses that are awakening, and there's a rude awakening coming very quickly for many. You can feel it in the air. There's something coming in the air tonight, boys and girls, and we're going to be the ones that are going to snap, crackle, pop this twinkling of an eye, where everyone has to face themselves and their choices. In your actions, you are already judged. There is no need for an exterior judge. That's what fools need, because by one's actions, one is known and already judged oneself. If you have harmed, there's no saying, I didn't do that. You can say that all day long, but the simple fact is the intent to harm was there. You have to come to terms with that. That was your free will choice. And again, I go back to the only two questions I ever ask myself anymore. Is that something I would do, or is that something I wouldn't do? That, for me, is free will choice. So hopefully I've been a bit clearer on that, Ian. And, great back and forth, and I really appreciate your insights. Great to be able to chat with. There's a handful of people that I get to chat with in this regard, so I greatly appreciate it. But there you have it, guys. And of course the pedophiles. Well, they made a free will choice to be that. There is that beautiful conscience of consciousness that tells you if you're doing something good or not so good. And whereabouts on that ladder of free will choice you are. And many of these entities, these dark principalities, are only digging themselves into a deeper hole. This is where we get to be the light, where we get to rise above it hermetically. Right? Just finished the Kabbalion on the webinar last night. Lots of beautiful information there. Yeah, this is where we get to rise above it, where the heavens have already testified for us. You need to look no further than, of course, this Uber chart that you've got going on is just going to clinch it. But you're right. You know, the heavens testified. You chose your path before you got here. That was your free will choice. You're here by your free will choice, and you will get out or stay in by your free will choice. So choose. Choose infinity, or choose the meat stick game you're playing and that seems to have your attention so greedily held. You know, it's time to let go, guys. You're holding the chains of your own enslavement. You are trapped in the Chinese finger trap, and you are pulling so hard. So I'm going to ask you just to relax. Push your fingers together, let the trap release, and then gently let it fall to the floor. Lose the name, win the game. The name your parents gave is what made you a slave. Can you get over it? You know, they didn't mean to. And the ones actually taken you didn't mean to either. You see, because they have masters above them that have them in ignorance too. Because everyone on this planet using a Crown-owned, Vatican-owned name is actually committing fraud, and their divine feminine essence has been trapped. Mine is set free. Never was the name. I kind of had an advantage that way. Never will be. They can have their name. They can have Wilfred Keith Thompson all day long. It's theirs. Go ahead, knock yourself out. How much is your piece of paper worth now spiritually? Sweet fuck all. Right? So there you go. Enjoy your piece of paper. I'm reclaiming my heaven. And it's done. And I will release your curse back upon you. See the word release? Of course they want to release a prisoner. You know, what do you do when you sign a new lease? Well, you've just released the property. So don't be fooled by their trickery, guys. Yeah, I release their curses back to them. And no Kol Nidre oath to intent is always intent. Oaths are not. Sorry, guys. It's how the universe works. That's the divine feminine of creation and the divine masculine of intention within that creation. You're fucked either way. So enjoy your free will choice. Fair? I think so.
Just for reference, I mean, I'm not trying to change the subject or anything, but Santo, you mentioned somebody who David Icke was in touch with the paedophilia situation.
His name was Bill, right?
Yeah, Bill Mahoney.
Bill Mahoney. There it is. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bill Mahoney, and you know we can send him good energy because he is risking his life, of course. Bill Mahoney, is it?
Yes, Bill Mahoney. He did some extraordinary work, and he exposed things on the Isle of Wight that had even the locals not wanting to talk to him. Yes, he is quite safe. He is standing in absolute truth and honor. He is protecting the little ones. He is protecting the children. Nothing touches that man. Nothing.
Well, if we put energy behind his efforts and perhaps, support people like Ben Gilroy in Ireland and the work he's doing, helping people to keep their homes and their properties, and he's doing this with his heart. You know, you can see this man, his heart is in this. He is helping so many Irish people to understand the principles of sovereignty. A couple of guys like that, you know, we need to get behind these guys, folks. Get behind these guys. These guys will be very important one day when the right time comes. They
already are, and they're making the difference, and that's exactly it. You know, there it is, guys. We do this together, and there are some out on the battlefield like Bill Mahoney and Ben Gilroy and so many. You know, if you can't do that part of the job, well, then get your intention behind them. And, again, no army of truth can move forward without a supply line. So supply the energy. Get your intentions behind them. We are fighting a war in heaven, guys. This is not a physical game here. And that's been the hard thing for me to get across with regards to this registering. They had to go after the spirit. That's the only thing. And when you're talking divine, creative, feminine essence of spirit, you're talking about creation itself. They stole your creation, and look what they've done. Everything that you've done, look, they did to me. Everything I created, they took. Why? Because they had claimed that spiritual essence. New game now, you see, because that has been turned around. You see, now, because I know who I am and who I'm certainly not, you see, is it now the court or the church or the state's intent to aid and abet me into claiming a name that belongs to them? Silly people, it's your name. It's not my name, that's your name. It was given to you fair and square. Now we need to talk about the non-disclosure of how you managed to, dupe my mother and father out of that, because obviously there was malintent there based on your control systems of armed goonies called cops walking around. And I mean, many of these guys and girls don't know what the hell they're doing anyway. They're listening to their master, who's listening to their master, who's listening to their master, and they don't realize who the real masters of this game are. And we're not dealing with anything that you can see, boys and girls. This has been the hard part to get across to people, because everyone is stuck in this meat stick. They don't have a concept that, oh my goodness, there might be something beyond the meat stick. Of course there is. You've only got 5 senses here, for crying out loud. Most of your DNA has been shredded. It's time to rebuild. Time to get that Jacob's ladder back in form. Some cool cat said once, "You will do great things better than I." Pay attention. He was right. We are going to do great things far better than he. Maybe it's irrelevant. So get your energy behind the people that are doing the things. If you can't do them, then that's fine. Nothing wrong with that. No harm, no foul. I've said many times that, why do I do this? Well, because I'm built to do this. This was my design. This was my choice. And I know I'm on a mission here. I know Tony knows that, and I know Santo knows that, and I know many others that know that they have a purpose to fulfill. And they're going hell-bent for leather, just like me, to get that fulfilled. So you might want to ask yourself what your particular game piece is, what your piece of the puzzle is to bring to the table. And it doesn't have to be anything grandiose. It does not. But it has to be something. And it has to be something you chose to fulfill your purpose and what you came here to learn and what you came here to make a difference with. I can't help you there. All I can do is suggest that there is that. And you know in your own heart that you have something to do. Take a little bit of time, get into the stillness, and just ask. Ask you, the higher self. You are creation. You are God, Ask yourself. And then shut up long enough to hear the answer. Stop trying to figure it out. That's where we get caught up in the ego and the left brain and the rest of the nonsense. Shut up. Just listen. You don't have to say another word. You just listen. And it will come. Always does for me. That's what I call song catching. As soon as I can let go long enough, and that's one of the problems I'm having right now with getting this written, is I want to write it so bad, I'm blocking myself, so I have to really step back. And don't worry, when this puppy flows out of me, the Denique Ultimatum Reverio Verum flew out of my face in one sitting. Why? Because it was a download. So when this download comes, there's a few things that I'm still sorting out in my own mind regarding the church UPU, the state UCC, church and state. Well, this is about separation of church and state. Not church and state are one and the same. You can't separate those. The separation is you from it. So let's say it again, the separation of church and state from you. It's a piece of paper, guys. It's got their spelling on it. It's got their property, crown copyright. Fine, no problem. I have no consideration on you taking that name. It's yours, not a problem. I don't come with it now. Where I used to, and I used to think that that's mine, right? The seagulls flying around and Finding Nemo. Okay, well, I decided to stop doing that. and say, oh, fine, fine, fine. Go ahead, take it. It's empty now. Go ahead and try to monetize that month. I'm telling you, it ain't going to happen. It's empty. It's devoid of spirit. Devoid. No more. Just put the seeds out there. This little thing that I'm putting together, even the document that I've shared with a bunch of people, if someone could get it up online somewhere on Scribd or whatever where it can be Googled, please do. Only fiction's copyright. I don't. Whatever I put out is yours. Came from you. I am the sum of of the experience of being with you, interacting with everyone on this planet that I have so far. Of course I'm you. All my experiences tell me that. I wouldn't be me without you, and vice versa. So this is where we start to become part of the oneness and start appreciating the fact that we're all connected. And the only thing keeping us warring and keeping us fighting is each other. And we're the ones holding the chains, and we're the ones holding the bats. We're the ones that are angry at others for something that we need to take care of. I think it's time to end that as well. I mean, these are tough things. This is all grown-up stuff that I'm talking about. There's no more fighting over the Barbie dolls and the Tonka trucks in the sandbox, boys and girls. We've played that. It's called insanity. We've been doing that for a very long time. I was in the sandbox too. You see, because when I speak out to you, I'm speaking to myself as well. Guilty as charged, baby. I'm okay with that. But here we go. Forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. And those that have harmed us are debtors as well. And the longer we keep thinking that we have to go and beat the shit out of someone, i.e. metaphorically, like court and whatever, the longer we're going to be empowering this dark principality to control us. I'm done. I've had enough. Now they're going to have to be the ones to come with unclean hands to my freshly washed Pontius Pilate hands, where I will not judge. You're coming with the unclean hands. My name is clear. It's yours. And all the curses that you attach to it go back to you. Enjoy. All your malintent is yours. Golden rule. I absolutely wish for you that which you have wished for yourself. Mirror, mirror. I think that's more than fair, don't you? I don't know. Did I lose everybody or what?
No.
There we go.
No, everything's the way it's meant to be. And people are just really taking a big gulp and just going, yeah, we know.
Well, it's mirror time, guys. We do know this. I mean, I had to look for this. You guys had to look for it as well. Oh, just a sec here. Let me see. I'm going to bring someone into the call here. I know she's been chomping at the bit. Had a good chat with her earlier today. So let's see what she has to offer. Just don't take over the floor. This is Santos night, okay? That's how it works.
Hey.
Hey, okay. So what's on your mind? And
Well, hi, Kate. Hi, Santo. Tony.
hey,
Hello.
Okay, it's Tracy, Santo. Hi. Yeah, I'm definitely chomping at the bit because I'm listening. I'm really listening. And, the trespass is, we've all done it, and it's on the feminine. That's what you're saying. It's on the feminine principle. That tells me it's on the mother. And of course it is. It's on the planet. She's our biological mother. Sorry, my show. I have to turn it off. Trespass. That's the injury, and we've all done it. And we all just need to stop doing it. So we need to just stand and be in honor of our mother, of the feminine, the divine feminine. That was what they did, and we did it out of ignorance. So now we just don't do it anymore.
yeah, the excuse has been removed is basically it. Once you understand that your divine feminine has been literally hijacked, kidnapped at birth, in the case with me, it's very clear. June 15th, I got here. Santo, you've done my chart. On June 18th, that's when things were registered, and that's when Mom and Dad gave away the name. And unknowingly and unwittingly, the fruit of their labor, and convinced me to empower that name by calling me that while they were alive. And of course, honor thy mother and thy father. That's what they named me. That's fine. I guess I'm going to go with that. It's not resonating with me, but okay. But here's the thing. They created it. In as much as Mom and Dad's contract created the body I'm walking around in. So what we've done so far is we have solved the body and mind. The only thing left to do was to reclaim the spirit. Sorry, my intent is no longer in that name. I have no intention of ever wanting any part of it again. Thanks, Mom, Dad. It was great while I had it, and no, it's not about forgiving you for aiding and abetting me into fraud. I know you didn't mean it because you didn't know what was going on. Neither did we. But now I've got my creation back. I've got my divine feminine fully intact, where no one can make claim on it again.
Hey, Kate, can you explain why you explained to me earlier today where the intention was set so that we want to completely separate from the name? It was before birth.
Oh, yeah, that was in the etheric, right? The creation came in the contract between Mom and Dad discussing, if it's a boy, we'll call him this. If it's a girl, we'll call her that. So there was already contract. And, of course, with the church, you already have the marriage and what have you. So that anything created spiritually is going to be basically owned by church and state. Again, another deception. And the church has to own up to that one, the bunch of pedophiles that they are, of course. And they are powerless. It's only
hang on. Let me ask you. We're talking about solutions here. What was your ritual? What did you do to lose the name before you chose Kate of Gaia? How did you sever the spell, the ritual? What was the process? What did it look like?
It's called free will choice.
No, but what did you do? Did you burn it? Did you bury it?
No, I don't do that kind of crap.
Share, because what I would do what I shared earlier. This is what I'm thinking. I get my live birth record. I reverse the process, resurrect my death certificate, which is my birth certificate, get my live birth record before I even was a name, and then I have a free will choice at some point on my path to return it to the earth, to hang on to it or whatever, but that's my free will choice. But that's before. That's a record of who I am. That proves I'm alive. That's what I'm trying to say. It offsets the death certificate, which is the birth certificate is, because it turns into a corporation.
I know where you're going here, Tracy. I do. In a physical sense, do whatever you feel you need to. Me, I don't live there. I live in the spiritual. Whatever I say goes. Right? I wish no harm upon anyone else, and I certainly don't need anyone else's permission or a ritual to say that I know who I am. I just am. It's clear cut as that. I don't need to, and some people do, and that's fine. It's not what I do, because I don't deal in the physical in this. We've already dealt with physical. If you
that's fine, but we're talking about we're talking about we're talking about the one. So we're talking about maybe a step. We're talking about a step here. A tangible physical step.
And again, Tracy, I'm going to call it here, okay, because this is going to go south real quick.
Why?
All right? No, it just is. I know this. All right? So I'm going to call it on this. I don't deal in the physical. And I'm trying to get people out of the fucking physical meat stick, John. This is where I'm going.
I know, but why are you getting so mad? Why can't we have one step for everybody? At least one step. Not just a quantum jump into,
Okay, all right. Sorry, Tracy. It's not the Tracy show here, okay? And that's why I didn't want to get into this tonight. Tune back in, hon. I don't like getting sandbagged, and I don't like getting into debates about this, all right? It's a very, very functional thing here. It's not a physical game, and I've said this time and time again, and I don't want to get into a debate on it. You either deal with it or fuck off. That's how I work, okay? I'm done with this, all right? I'm tired. Tired of watching people hammer themselves.
Your point is right, Kate. I mean, why do we have to communicate with a foreign agency, a bunch of criminals? they've been foreclosed morally, spiritually, physically. They are going out of their way to hurt people. It hurts people when the police officers are writing tickets. People can't afford to pay tickets. They can't afford them. It's hurting people. And besides the fact that it's just a ticket, a small ticket. I mean, they are cashing in on this because these are stocks and securities on the stock market. There's more to it. There's another level of crime going on with this. It's not just that they're writing out tickets illegally. There's another level. It goes deeper and deeper and deeper, and this is really, really a sickness. And why do we need to notice these people or give them notice?
Yeah.
Why would you want to participate in their fraud?
Well,
Let
again,
them go.
You're flowing energy at it, and this is the point I was trying to get. And I know Tracy means well, I do, but I'm not. One, this is your night, and I'm not into debate Kate. Okay, I don't play that game anymore. I'm not looking for right or wrong. What I'm trying to explain is very simply this. Here it is. The last to go will see the first three go before her, and there's the body, mind, and spirit. All right. Got the body and the mind thing worked out, need to get the spirit thing done, and that's where the register came in. Why does everything have to be registered? They talk about Regina. It sounds an awful lot like vagina, and that was a comment I believe Tracy had made yesterday when we were talking. And I understand totally where she's coming from. And again, I'll bring up the questions that Johnny brought up last night or the night before with regards to trying to educate people and understanding. I'll be blunt. I can't. What I can do is write up something very simple that now you have the onus of reading it and getting it or not. You see, I'm the rescue diver that has learned. It took me a long time, and it's a very painful process. I finally learned to swim away. Those that are ready, this is about a critical mass, people. If you want to walk around trying to, you need university, I'm talking allegorically here, people that have been in this game that are awake, that are aware, those are the ones that we need, that know or are very close to knowing who they are. Those are the ones that I need to communicate with more than the ones that are just going, oh, how do I get this parking ticket taken care of? Well, you go fucking pay it, moron, because you don't know who you are. And I'll go right back to it. It says, well, I get a speeding ticket. I do not wish to contract with you. Stupid, you already did. One, from birth, and two, you took that document and you went out and committed fraud by getting a license using a name that doesn't belong to you. What part of fucking contract are you missing? Wake up. But it's everyone else's fault, Kate. Fuck you it is. It's yours. Because you're asleep at the wheel. Expect a collision or two. This is my passion, guys. It's the same story. And it's not that I love anyone less or anyone more. I don't. But I know my limitations, and I know that if I spend hours talking to one individual, and you proved this as well, Santo, talking to one individual that's fast asleep and is going to fucking debate me, what about all the ones that are willing, ready, and able that I'm going to lose in the result? So here it is. We speak to the many now. This is not about one-on-one anymore. I'm getting overweighted as it is. And every time that I'm taken away, just like with you, Santo and Tony, when we're taken away from our research, the ones that you guys tune in to listen to, it gets a little hard for us to keep this fight going for you. And this is why we do the show, so that we can get it out to the masses, so that we can get you what you need. But we do need a little peace, and we do need to understand that, sorry guys, if you don't know who you are yet, we're doing our damnedest to make sure that you do. And it's not my responsibility for your ego. I took care of mine. Here's a saying, learn to say this and you'll figure it out. Don't worry, you'll get over me. I did. And when you can say that in a mirror and mean it, you're going to start to know who you are at that point. And you're going to turn off that tricky little bastard that has to come up with the next clever thing to say just because you want to look smart. Not into it. You know what? There are many, many people that are far more intelligent than I. I just have a different perspective, that's all. You know, the biggest trap people have is their goddamn intellect. I know. Trapped me for a long time. That's part of me I had to let go, and now I use it as a tool instead of being one. You know, we have the ability, guys. Do we have the patience with ourselves? That's the thing. And people can say what they want about me. I don't care. The fact is, I do what I do because I do care. Debate me all you want. You're only beating yourself up. I'm the one looking for help, trying to get these concepts across to people, and the only help I can get are those that kind of go, maybe I'll listen to her for a second. Maybe she might have something to say. Maybe, you know, maybe she got attacked hardcore because she was fucking dangerous. You ever think of that? You know, you got these guys out there, gurus and this and gurus and that, and instead of, I'll tell you this right now, if they didn't have anything to lose and didn't lose anything, haven't spent any time in jail, I don't want to fucking listen to them because they're not a threat. I want to talk to the ones that are a threat. The ones that the system has punched. Why? Because we scared them. That's why. Anyway, so let's move along here. Know thyself. It's simple. Noscati ipsum. Know thyself. You're not a piece of paper. Your parents sold the name. Get over it. It ain't yours. It belongs to the state. Let the state fight with the state. Take your intention back. Reclaim your feminine. Reclaim your mother of creation. Ye are gods. You're only missing the biggest parts. You got the penis thing down. We're out trying to fuck everything in the universe. I'm talking girls and guys out trying to screw somebody over. That's your ego. That's the Osiris dismemberment. And what do? They put up obelisks everywhere just to remind you. Even the word doc means penis. Look at the word document, right? Penis, you mind. Fucked in the head. Shall we? And Santa, you nailed it. I don't need anyone's permission, nor do I need to... When I send something out, do I need a response? No, because I'm going to get an automated reply anyway. I don't care. It's my intent that counts. I don't need someone to qualify it or go, well, you know, if they want to rebut it, fine. That's even better. But I'll tell you right now, when my intent goes out and I get a thank you for your correspondence back, I'm screaming happy. Because they just owned themselves. My intent masters theirs. And that's all I'm after. Getting the heart intent out there. Getting it into people's minds and hearts. So they understand that they are the most powerful, most beautiful entities in this universe. And they got to stop dealing with the dark principalities that have owned them. I'm just trying to show you a path to get that back. It's up to you now. I can't do any more than that. I'll write out what I can. You'll either get it or you won't. I'm going to keep talking, day after day. And by the way, 7 nights a week. So you don't need to ask me, Kate, are you on the radio tonight? Of course I am. 7 nights a week. I don't know about you, but that pretty much covers Monday to Sunday, right? Anyway, I get that one a lot. Are you on tonight? Duh. Anyway, love you guys. I really do. And if you're feeling anything other than that, you're missing the point. Tony Santos, save my ass. Start talking, somebody.
Yeah. No, I was just mentioning, typing away there in the chat room, the implications of what was asked by Tracy there. You're going to have to lose your driving license. You're going to have to lose your bank account, your pension. You're potentially...
Actually, no, you're not, Tony. No, you're not. This is the funny part. Because the thing is, the intent changes. Yes. This is not a physical game, Tony. No, I don't want anyone to even think that. You walk around with whatever you feel you need. What we need to do is get you pulled out of the fraud first, so that if you're ever questioned on it, it's like, okay, well, fine. You know, this is state property. This is not me, so you're going to be fighting yourself. And I'll tell you, anybody that gets called to court or whatever. Besides, these government agencies are stupid anyway. This system's coming down, so it won't matter anyway.
Just give me a second. Let me finish.
All right, I don't want you telling people that they have to do this and that, because they don't.
I was going to say, in other words, what I'm trying to explain is that people are going to need to know how to deal with the situation that they're going to find themselves in once they file a Dominica Rivera.
They're not going to be doing that, Tony, okay? No. So don't go there. They're not doing that. You're missing it, Tony. You're missing it.
No, I know.
Christ's sake.
I know all right, fine.
Give up. I really do. You don't got to do a goddamn thing. That's my point. You just got to get it. I don't want people disrupting their lives here. I don't want people getting into panic. That's what the system wants. Fear. Loss, lack. That's what the system teaches. This is not about that. Just know thyself. Once you know thyself, now you're walking in honor. You know the name is fraud. You can do what you want with it. I already told everyone, I'll hold this ground just to make damn sure it's held. You guys do what you need to do. Carry on. But don't be telling anybody they got to change anything, Tony.
That's what I was trying to explain. They need to know who they are and what they're about first before they do something. Santos.
Yeah, please, Santo, because I'll just have to say the same thing I just said again. But there you go.
My motto is, self-determination, and if you don't want to receive anything from the government or contract with them, then that's it. When I see something that comes to me in the all caps name, it goes straight to the bin. I don't waste any negative energy on it, and it comes. It comes to me. We have to learn how to ignore it, and pay attention and focus to the bliss that is out there.
Yeah.
Because the government is just there. It's a fictional entity. It doesn't exist. It just absolutely does not exist. You can't find it anywhere. It's just run by the media and the priests of Baal. Whether it's the churches or the bar. They're both the priests of Baal, and they work for these pedophiles, and that's the only government that really exists now. And we want to contract with that?
Well, that's why I'm trying to bust that contract and show people it's a spiritual contract, not a physical one. If you need to do something in the physical to manifest and make your universe ritual and all the rest of it, by all means, knock yourself out. For me, it's an unnecessary step, and it's still looking into the physical to find a spiritual solution. No, I send out emails that goes through the ether net, spiritual net, and I don't care. As soon as I hit send, it's gone. Baby, you own it. I don't care what you say. If you want to come back and tell me I'm wrong, knock yourself out. Fact is, I'm not. That's the point. I don't need someone to tell me if I'm right or wrong. I had teachers doing that shit with little X's and little, check marks and stuff. Conditioning us into competition and you've got to get it right and all the pressure and stress, okay? No, you don't need that. I don't know how many of you guys out there listening have used the Archimedean principle in your day-to-day lives. How many of you have used the quadratic equation to sort out a mathematical issue in your life? I can go on. The list is endless. It's endless. How much useless garbage did you get in school? How much useless garbage did you get told that you were wrong about on an exam, but you knew the answer? Again, it's about pressure and test and fear and lack and loss and destroy to break your will. You do a pretty damn good job of it. Time to take that will back, yeah? So I don't need a teacher to tell me what to do, because actually one day I told what teacher what to do, and he got his ass handed to him by a 16-year-old. Because he couldn't break down a formula that I could, because I was taught that. I told you this story, Tony. I think I told it to Santo. Don't judge my work because you're conditioned into a certain way of thinking. And of course, the short of the story is this. I get the answer right, but I only had like 1 or 2 steps because, coming back from Ireland to here, I kind of had a bit of an up on a lot of stuff, i.e. They put me in grade 9, skipped me a grade in math when I should have been in grade 13, because I was already ready for university, and thank goodness I never ended up in that shithole, but nothing wrong against Queen's University. I'm sure it was a nice place, but whatever. Point being, they like to make you show all your slave work, right? Step by step by step. They're, taking the long way around the shortcut. And of course I would, my teaching was, well, okay, well I know what that formula is, I can break it down, and boom, 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 there's fill in the values, boom, there's the answer. Next thing you know is I'm getting 3 out of 10. I look at a guy next to me here, he's getting 7 out of 10, he got the answer wrong. So of course I did my little march up after class and say, what the hell's this? Well, you didn't show your work. And I said, really? Okay. What's the big deal? So, well, you need to show all the steps and stuff. Oh, okay, well, fair enough. Break that formula down. It was a series and sequence formula. I said, what do you mean? I said, break it down. Tell me why that formula works. I want you to take me right back to the step one. The guy that figured it out had to do this. So we got taught how to do this. So I want you to break it down. And he looked at me with his fucking stunned look. Well, they didn't program that into me in teacher's college. And I said, okay, well, tell you what, bud, let me show you. So I broke it down for him. I showed him, this is why it works. Okay? Any questions? Sir? I never got a 3 out of 10 again, and I got all my marks corrected prior to that. Point made. Right? You know what? I've done the work. And I'm still doing the work. We're all doing that. Santo, I mean, holy shit, that wheel that you put together. And Tony, the work that you guys do. You and the crew pulling stuff out, exposing things that could potentially happen. Now they're not going to because they've been exposed. That's huge. And that's what I respect, the work. With me, I was kind of born to this role. I know who I am. I'm both. I am neutral. I am walking right down the middle. And I'm just trying to show people both sides of the same coin. You're a coin. You're not heads or tails. You're a coin. Bring them both together. And the only way we can do that is to reclaim the divine feminine that was stolen from us at birth. Okay, guys? And I'll download this whenever Universe says it's downloadable in my brain. So I've got it started, but I don't like thinking about stuff. I prefer just to regurgitate it. So, but don't change anything. Just change your intent. If you got ID, it's a self-inflicting that I'm going to be doing. That's why, sorry if I jumped on you, Tony, that's why. Because, Santo, you're traveling, yes? You're traveling with a passport. You're traveling in full honor because you know who you are. Roman maxim, you're going with clean hands now. Roman maxim, no one can be expected to do the impossible. Absolutely. So you use the tools instead of being one. So you've went from being the tool to using the tool. That's basically the step. So you're traveling in full-blown honor there, Santo. That's what I'm talking about. And if someone's getting a check from the government, who gives a shit? Right? It's all fictitious garbage anyway. And do what you need to do to survive. That's all I care about. But do the baby steps. Change your mind at least. And that's all you have to do. It's a mental universe. I'm shutting up now.
Yeah, again, just trying to help people by trying to get the information across. Don't step out in front of the car, you might actually get run over. That's all. Right. But,
absolutely. I mean,
anyway.
hey, Tony, you and Santo, you both served up Denicates. We got reaction, yeah?
Totally.
Okay, how many people are going to be ready for that?
Not a lot.
Right, so that's why I don't even suggest it. The ones that did it were the ones that needed to, and it's old news now. It's brought us to a whole new understanding of, well, listen, we need to find out who owns this name first before we go any further, unless it's the court's intent to, aid and abet me into committing fraud. I come here with clean hands, and I know that this is state property, or crown property, whatever the case may be. It doesn't matter. It's all crown anyway. That's all I want to clear up here. You're going to see a lot of very nervous runaway judges and lawyers and cops and all the rest of it. The only reason I carry a birth certificate is if they want to use something, then they're going to be forced to commit fraud to do so. I'm great with that. I think that's fucking cool. But, see, that's me, though. I can do that. I don't have any fear of it. All right? What more can they take away from me? They took my family, they took my home, they took my car, my truck, my whole livelihood, everything about me. That's what they do, guys. I don't want that to happen to anybody, but it's not going to now. We've already walked this path. You know, there is a clearer way. And we've covered a lot of the minefields. Tony stepped on a few, I stepped on a few, Santos stepped on a few. We've cleared them. We got big boots, though, so, well, mine are nicer than theirs, but, you know, the point being this. Don't do anything you can't handle, right? Do only that which resonates with your heart and what you are capable of. Because I'll tell you this right now, if you do something you're not capable of, don't turn around and say it's Kate's fault. Definitely not. Don't even go there. Because we have a responsibility to take upon our own shoulders that which we need to do. That I cannot be your keeper. All I can do is share truth. If it resonates, use it. If it doesn't, don't. It's that simple. Do only that which you can handle. Tony, don't scare me like that, telling people to do it then, okay, please.
That is the point. I was trying to warn them not to do it unless they understand what they're doing. That's it.
Yeah, well, see, that's the thing. With a simple little email, though, and this is something that you can just fire off. You want to throw it into on and for the public record. They're going to love this one. You know, because you're going to be basically asking them, well, before we go any further on this, we need to clear the ownership of the name, because this name, I don't own it. And I'm certainly not that name. This was given away. You own it. I don't want to interlope in state matters. Got nothing to do with me. This is Kramer versus Kramer, boys and girls. Why would you want to get in the middle of that fray? That's why they have prosecutors. Prosecute means do not pursue. No, we have to go in and chase our own tails. Time to stop doing that. Most people don't know that prosecute means do not pursue. I thought that was a rather interesting twist on the game there. Oh, do not pursue, which means, they're saying in honor. We have to pursue ourselves. So we have to be the ones initiating the crime. Now we've turned the tables. You want me to play? Then you're the one initiating me into the crime. Is that your intent? Of course it is. I don't think they're going to go there. That's a little dangerous area for them. What do you guys think?
You got me there. Absolutely. I completely agree.
Yep. Spot on.
Yeah, well, apparently I'm sounding monotone and not unconditionally loving. Self-absorbed? Okay, sure, I'm self-absorbed. I don't give a shit about anybody. That's why I'm on the air, guys. You know? Unbelievable, but whatever. Oh, yeah, okay, so it's all about me tonight, guys. I'm self-absorbed, and this is for me only, so don't pay any attention to anything I'm saying. Okay, monotone, no, this is just wanting to be at peace, to let you guys know that there is no panic here. This is calm. This is easy. Just know thyself. So, Sando, we're going to run past the hour for sure here, because I know we got a few callers if you want to get into a bit more of your chart. And
Well, no, I probably won't, because I've got a busy day today. The guys from Truth Juice want to speak to me straight after this.
Excellent.
In fact, I was supposed to speak to them before, and I don't know what happened. But anyway, so I've got to organise this connecting up the Italians with the Truth Juice people from England for the July-August trip. So, but anyway, look, one thing I do want to say is that this is my last syncretism before the trip, of course. So I just want to say to the listeners, please send good energy to this project and Johnny Guzman. He's been persistent since March of last year, since we first started doing Spanish shows. And he's been promising me that he's going to make a documentary based on syncretism, astrotheology, astrology, etc. So he's always been there, a great, support for me, just like morally, I mean, just been a good energizer to what I'm doing. You know, he energizes me, and so please send your energy there. I don't mind flying. You know, I'd rather not. I've been around, you know, enough to know. I've been to America before, and I know it's a long trip. Sometimes it makes me a bit nervous to be in a plane. You know, I have to be honest. But so I do get some anxiety here. It's not all, you know, just exciting. Whoopee! I'm going to Ecuador, and I'm going to have a great time. We're going there to work. I'm actually doing 4 presentations, 2 in Spanish, 2 in English. They've already been booked. And we are going to talk to a lot of interesting people. Johnny tells me that there are people there that appreciate very, very much what I'm doing and syncretism, and they wish that it would be taught in the schools in Ecuador. So there's probably going to be some bigger openings than what we plan on. You know, this is gaining momentum by the minute, syncretism. And I know it is, because we're all getting it. This is us remembering. We are remembering these things, you know. So I'm going to be really, really busy, and probably won't be able to do much radio. Johnny doesn't want me to anyway. He's adamant that we will be too busy. We will be going from town to town, sometimes on the weekends for the presentations, 2 in Spanish, 2 in English. And I'm really happy that we're going to have Spanish ones, because I don't have any professional, you know, full screen, good quality Spanish presentations. And so that's happening now. It's really, really exciting. It's knowing what we're going to achieve is giving me the excitement to go ahead and do this. Otherwise, I would be more than happy to stay home and do what I'm doing from home. And I would be much more comfortable, you know. But that's all I ask. Just send us some good energy, and keep us in your minds and hearts, and remember that we're doing a great work for humanity. And so that's it. That's all I asked for.
Already done.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know that, though. No, it's and as I mentioned to you and Johnny the other night, you know, we're running 7 nights a week here, so do not be shy in terms of if you want to pop on for 10 or 15 minutes or whatever, just to maybe give the listeners a play-by-play as to what's going on. You know, that's the door is well, there is no door. You just walk in. And all I need is tag me ahead or tag me during the show. I don't care. We'll bring you in at any given point just to give people an update. If you can, once a week or whatever, that'd be great.
Done. Yeah, absolutely, for sure.
You know, it takes the pressure off having to be somewhere, and at least you know. And you'll have your computer, so I know Skype will be there and what have you. I can tag you and or Johnny, and you know, just to keep in touch that way to let us know what you guys are up to and when you can come on, so I can maybe if I'm just going to be happy to be able to walk on the same planet as you. It's going to be cool. Oh, you there?
Yeah, you're breaking up, so I don't know whether you're being heard or not. I'm not hearing you, Kate, so I didn't hear much of that. But anyway, look, thanks for that. I did hear that you wanted to get some updates. That's for sure. I will do that. For sure, absolutely. And I'm sure Johnny will be more than happy to join in, and we can update you, for sure.
Absolutely. Just to keep people in the loop, and they'll be watching. I just said that it'd be nice to have you on the continent, the same one I'm walking around on. That's cool. Maybe at first, eh? But
yeah.
All right. Well, you're going to hear the 90 seconds shortly. What we can do is it's up to Tony. We can run past the hour a little bit. You can carry on doing what you need to, Santo. I know you're busy, especially with this trip coming up. So I can't say thank you enough. That wheel, when people get it, they're gonna it's gonna floor them. It's beautiful. I don't know what else to say. And I know people would want to get charts done and everything else tonight. Unfortunately, sorry guys, it's just sometimes the shows don't go exactly as we plan, and for me, there are many important things that have to be got out there, and with Santo going to Ecuador, with Johnny getting this movie done, we're going to be getting an exceptional product delivered, and there's going to be a whole lot of new people going to get a chance to meet Santo and change another part. So a great big thank you to you, Santo, and I also want to say thank you to Paul and Lisa at criticalmassradio.co.uk for giving us this platform every night. So any final comments you guys want to make, or Santo, before you take off?
Santo?
No, that's it. I'm done. Just wish that everybody will send their great energy, and we'll be good.
You have been surrounded with more light than you could even possibly imagine. So consider it done, my friend. And again, thanks again for coming in tonight and every Friday, because it's always a treat on Syncretism. So go do your thing. We're going to be off the air in a second here, and I'll run it past a little bit and see what other stuff Tony wants to maybe go over. Other than that, we're going to be loud and proud tomorrow night on the air, 7 to 9, another open forum. So be a lot more interactive at that point. But again, Santo, thank you so much.
Yeah. Thank you, guys. Take care. Much love. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bless.
Yeah. So I know what it's like trying to get ready for long-haul trips, but I tell you, that's going to be a long one. Pacific's that's a big body of work. But
yeah, it's actually grown quite a bit as well. What was actually started out just to be a sort of like European tour, if you like, including the odd jet out to Egypt and various other places like Italy. It's actually turned out to be an international tour. So there's a lot more going on behind the scenes than people have any idea yet. So there's a lot more to come on this.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. Well, we're into the recording session now. What I can do is I can quickly go down the phone calls, and again, my apologies. Things were just kind of a lot of things needed to get said tonight that I have been trying for days to try to clarify, and I'm still failing miserably. That's what it feels like anyway. When people are stuck in the physical, thinking that physical things need to be done physically, they're missing their spirituality. They're missing that beautiful essence of divine spirit mind, that beautiful unseen. These are the leaps of faith. And that's all I do every time I send an email. It's a leap of faith, because I know my intention counts in this universe. I'm a butterfly flapping her wings, and that's what I do. And I don't need anybody to tell me what direction to fly, and I'm just going to do my thing and get the word out. And Tony, you've seen it, I've seen it, Sana's seen it. I've seen the world change on emails I've sent out, literally overnight. And you're thinking, wow. That's when you start getting into this realm and understand that you have that power. You are that powerful. Don't let these people fool you anymore.
Exactly. I think I mentioned the other night, it's like, who the hell told you didn't have the power to change your own future and to make a better future for your children?
Exactly.
It's in the mirror.
Yeah, and I don't need some government goonie to reply to me like their opinion matters, because it doesn't. They're dumbed down more than the people that aren't in government or cops or military or whatever. So I'm not about to go, oh, I wonder what the IQ of a bag of chips has to say about this. No, I'm good. I'll make my own choices here. I'll move on from there. Carol, your line's open, hon.
Hello, beautiful. I have enjoyed tonight so much. Santos is brilliant as usual. and I just wish him a wonderful, safe trip on that wonderful journey. And Tony, hi, dear sweet man. I love you so much. And Kate, of course, I love you dearly. And I had a very nice call from Tracy today. Oh, she's so precious. And anyway, I think what we're looking at here is the college professor talking to the kindergartner again. And I think we need to all understand that we're all evolving at a different rate. And even though the college professor is presenting these wonderful etheric and physical bits of information to us that she has been illuminated with, it's very confusing for us sometimes to understand exactly where we fit into that. And so I hear I hear the frustration from you, Kate, and I feel the frustration on this end and from the people in the audience too, because you're presenting things that people have never ever thought about before, and they're stymied as how they fit into using this information.
That's why I'm writing the kindergarten document. That's why I'm frustrated, because I haven't got it done yet, and it's like I'm just going to be beating myself up to try to get this across to people without giving them the document to read, something that they can put their teeth into, you know?
I think that you need to maybe, and forgive me if I'm overstepping my position of guest here, listening to the professor, but I think that a lot of your frustration is coming in is that you need to present your case, and you need to have feedback that it's being heard and understood. And what is happening is you're not getting that understood feedback. So might I make a suggestion for you?
Please do.
Put it out however it feels comfortable to you. There will be those that are evolved enough to understand what you're saying, and the rest of us can chew on it until we have a deeper understanding. You know, there's that little saying I've mentioned before, and you all know it. You've all heard it, so it's nothing new coming from me. But when the student is ready, the teacher appears. Well, here, the teacher has appeared in the form of Kate. And Kate is putting out these wonderful revelations that she has wakened up to, but she's so far evolved and ahead of us that it hasn't hit us yet exactly. It's the electric spark in our brain hasn't kicked off yet. We're still in the chewing mode. We're like a termite. We're chewing, but we haven't got the spark yet that causes a fire. And so if you can just kind of relax, Kate, and put out what you understand, there will be those that pick up with you, honey.
Carol, I can't agree with you more. What you're hearing from me more than anything else is me beating myself up.
Yeah, and I hate to see you do that to you because you're so beautiful.
Trying to get this to where people can grasp it. You see, failure.
You went away, dear one. You went away, dear one.
Oh. Okay, normal. See, with me, communication failure starts with me.
Well, you're a Gemini. Think of what connotation that has on the whole that you're dealing with here. Now, I want to take you back to the time of Jesus, as we've been told, whether this carries any weight or not, but, you know, because we know that the Bible's been screwed with, if you want to put it that way. But here, Jesus went all that time with those 12 disciples. And, of course, we're hearing now that they weren't men, they were women. We don't know what the truth is at this time. We're hearing bits and pieces about all of this. And we're being awakened, you know. We're starting to question, well, gosh, this is what I've been taught, but I'm hearing this now. Could this be a reality? But even the time that he spent with whomever the disciples were, those disciples really didn't get it, did they? They never got it. They still didn't get it, according to what we have read in the Bible, you know. So, you know, Spirit came to me when I had to take some people off of our conference call back in 2006. They were scammers, and they're still out there now scamming. And so it broke our phone family up, and we were left with a smaller phone family. Well, Spirit came to me very shortly after that happened and said, Carol, don't worry about the numbers. Be concerned with the quality of the people. And I've never looked back. And we've got a solid, wonderful phone family. And it's small. It's not big. Those numbers that we created the other night, on Sunday night, it was just, those were numbers of a major rock concert, or maybe even bigger, it was a mind blower, but that doesn't happen very often. And there's a very small percentage of people out of the 7 billion on the planet that really are awakening. And we can't be concerned with trying to win everybody. That's not our job.
Can I just mention something, Carol?
Oh, go right ahead, Tony. I'm sorry.
There's nothing to be sorry about, but I just needed to interject at this point because I know, without any shadow of a doubt, I have some information that you need to take on board. The reason that the disciples didn't get it is because they weren't meant to get it.
Thank you. Yes, I'm very aware of that. Spirit came to me last year and told me, these people that don't get it, they haven't been incarnated on this planet very many times. They're not ready for this stuff.
Exactly.
There's many people that are not ready for it, and it's not our job to convince them. They will never get it in this lifetime. They will have to die and reincarnate many times to get where we are at this time. So we are addressing a very small amount of people on this planet that are going to wrap their mind around what we're talking about. Yes, I'm with you all the way, Tony. Yes.
That was kind of the point I have been trying to get across. I'm trying to pull Tracy into the call anyway, just so you guys can chat. The thing is, with me, you guys are absolutely right. You see, we are talking to a very small, in terms of percentages of the planet. Yes, indeed, it is very small. That's why we cannot be distracted, and it's not to make less of anyone or anything, but we cannot try to go out to save those that want to drown. That's probably the most literal way I can put it. Okay, fine, you don't want to say that's great. I am not gonna take all that energy and put it into that where I would prefer to grab a lifeboat and those that have got their arms up going over here, I get it. No, come on in, pull them out of the water kind of thing. No, you're here to save yourself. That's the whole point, right? And the only way you're going to save yourself is to be aware that you are trying to do that. And if you see the lifeboat, you will climb in without any question. And it's about that critical mass number that we get this consciousness working, And I didn't want to get into a debate with Tracy on it tonight. I really didn't. And I know where she was going, and I get her compassion. She's a street worker. She's the one that's in the trenches. Totally get that. I'm coming at it from a different point, and I'm also coming at it from a very weak position of not having put together in document form, and I'll be blunt, the kindergarten letter that people need. That they do not need anyone's permission. They don't need a damn thing. And this is the biggest part of the program we have to break, thinking that we have to get, authorization from somebody. Are you out to harm anyone? No? Then what authorization do you need other than that? Are you out to make the world better? Please, knock yourself out. The intent has to be there. And that is a personal free will choice. That's not one I can make for anyone. All I can do is offer up what I can, try not to be frustrated with me because I can't get it out fast enough and clear enough. This is me beating me up. Anytime you see any interaction that might be, debate-like, that's just me beating the shit out of me. It really is. It's my own frustration.
I picked that up. Yeah, you're beating yourself pretty badly. And do you spend much time with your music, my dear?
No, well, I have lately, but not in the last few days. I've got a cut on my thumb, so I prefer to finger pick versus using a pick. And it's even hard to hold a pick right now. I just got a slice across my thumb, so. It's okay. It's okay.
Well, if you can just relax and let things go, and sometimes, there's a saying, and I'm sure you and Tony have heard it: things that you resist persist.
Yes.
And so, if you can just turn loose of it for a period of time, oftentimes what I find with my evolvement is that.
You know what I resist?
What's that?
The resistance to resist. I kid you not. I know me that well. It's like I gotta let go. Well, I know, and so I'm literally resisting the letting go of letting go. It's just bizarre.
Do you have, excuse me for interrupting you, but do you have a botanical garden up in your area?
Well, I'm looking at a lawn and a bunny rabbit right now.
Well, do you have a formal or any kind of a botanical garden near where you live, honey?
Not around here, no.
Not around there. Well,
no,
how about a beautiful park?
Well, as I was going to say, there is a park out the back. It should not. It was flooded, so I don't know if I can get down there. I was down there about a week and a half ago, and the path was completely underwater.
Well, don't put yourself at risk. That's not the point. Yeah. I've told my family for a long time, one of the nicest places, and maybe you can just go to a florist shop, and just go in there and just let the proprietor know that you just would like to come in and get some eye candy, and the smells. And spend some time just looking at each flower, and maybe if you can afford it, walk away with the least expensive one-stem flower to bring home and put in a glass so you can take a look at God in a beautiful form. You really do need to let some space go between your pointedness and what you're all about, and let Spirit come in and just envelop you with love, because you're so dedicated to awakening as many people as you can that you need to kind of let it go for a little bit, I think, don't you?
Well, yeah, that's why I like going for walks. I do go in center. I do. That's the thing.
Oh, good. Okay.
Oh no, that's a priority. Unfortunately, the last year and a bit hasn't been the easiest in order to accomplish that, where just sheer survival has been at stake, and just.
Okay, you went away again, darling.
Oh, trying to maintain that center point. That's all.
Why don't you call me when you're up for it? Because I've got a little exercise that helped me untraumatize over something very serious, and it took about 20 minutes for the therapist to do it for me. But I'd like to share this with you, and it's something that you can do by yourself, and I'll be glad to walk you through it and help you learn how to do it, and maybe it will help relax some of the issues that are stressing you so much.
Well, there's only one thing that I am traumatized on. It's not getting this done yet.
Well,
everything else is water under the bridge, hon. I don't live in the past.
Oh, good. Okay, sweetheart.
I've learned that much.
You've been through so much, though. You have been so much
through so much
trauma. And you're doing so beautifully. Oh, my God, you're such a beautiful being. I love you. I've just fallen madly in love with you and your music and your philosophy. And I just keep telling my phone family, tune into this beautiful soul. You're going to learn so much.
Potty mouth and all.
Oh, I clue them into that, because, that's part of what you're doing for us is helping us to drop that plastic people facade that we have been programmed into for all of our years. And I love you for that. That is really wonderful. People have got to get over that stuff, over the judgment and over the plastic stuff, all this phony baloney that we've been, you can't do that, you need to do this, and it's just really incredible what we've been put through in this lifetime so far. But, folks, we're breaking out of it like a beautiful butterfly that Kate is already. We're starting to break out of our chrysalis, and we're going to emerge that beautiful butterfly, and we also are going to flap our wings and have an impact on the universe. So get ready, because you're in the right place at the right time. You're listening to the food from the gods, okay? And
exactly.
I'm going to be quiet now, because I've taken up way too much time.
Actually, no, you're not. No, you're not, because I just brought. Now, before you say anything, Tracy, there was a lot of conversation that's happened here. Okay, what I did not want to get into tonight, and I've been very, hopefully, eloquent about explaining that, was I did not want to get into that particular debate of physical manifesting and ritual. That's great. People can do that. What I will ask you to do is have a little chat with Carol, and we'll get this sorted out. There is no issue here. The issue is with me getting the information across that I need to, that is not ready to be had just yet. It's close. It's very close. And I need to write the kindergarten document, not being derogatory to anyone or anything, it's just the way of putting it, where everyone can understand it. That is my fault, my flaw. I will get that sorted out. What we do with it after that is entirely up to the individual. That is the debate I did not want to get into tonight. And as I had said to Tony earlier in the show as well, I did not want to get into people doing things that they cannot or are not able to do, because it is my intent to never create harm. What I will do is put something out that is mine, my responsibility. If you can make it yours, if it resonates, if something clicks with you, then it's yours. Other than that, then it becomes yours. Then it becomes your thought process, not mine. I don't want anyone believing a single word I'm saying. What I want them to do is have a list, have a look from their own perspective. I need to learn too. So that's kind of where we were at. So Carol, Tracy, hey, sure beats the phone bill, huh?
Well, I think she and I both have unlimited long distance. We had a nice, very short chat before your call started today, and we wanted to jump off and get on your call and be here for you and for us too. You know, I feel like I've lost a meal if I haven't been at your table every day.
Well, again, and I know Tracy gets it. I know she does.
Oh, of course she does. She's a beautiful soul, and I wouldn't be here with you if it hadn't been for Tracy. Somehow she found me. I don't make myself readily available. People that need to find our phone calls and find me, they find me somehow. You know?
Oh, eventually, you know, all things for a reason. You know, and I do get that, Tracy, you do get what I'm saying. The only thing I'm trying to get across the table right now is a very fundamental thing, and we'll take care of the physical parts after that people need to fulfill with themselves. That's going to be their choice. I'm just trying to get people just a little bit more out of the box. That's all.
Well, my offering there, my problem-solving mode there was to assist some people who aren't already in the etheric, like you are. And I wasn't speaking on my own behalf, and I wasn't, intending to sandbag you. We were talking about, the people that you want them to wake up. You want them to wake up to realize that they don't need it. But
that's
maybe one more, ritualistic step, that tangible thing is the thing that's going to do it.
And this is why you need to listen back to what we discussed. Absolutely. What people need to do, and as I was saying to Carol, it is not so much a situation of trying to rescue everyone, because we cannot. It's not that's trespass on free will.
Well, nobody's saying that.
No,
I'm not.
I realize that. The thing is, people are going to awaken when they're quite ready, and if they will, it's going to get to a point. This is the critical mass I speak of, where all the rescue divers here are out looking for people that can be saved, that have their hands up. I'm here, bring the boat over. So we'll go over and we will get them. But there is no point in trying to convince someone that is not awake enough to even realize that they're in slavery. I was actually answering a couple of questions that I've heard posed on your show in the last few days. That's how I came up with the. I wonder if we can reverse that death certificate. I wonder if there's something that Johnny could sink his teeth into, or there is. It's got to happen in your mind first. This is the point I'm making. There is no physical act that can solve this.
Well, there's been a lot of sharing of information doing just that on the part of us. There's been a lot of seminars and, sharing information. It's just the same thing.
Well, here it is in a very logical, very easy way to put it. What comes first, the thought or the act?
Well, obviously the thought.
Okay, that's what I'm getting at. We need to get the thought right first, then we act.
Well, I had the teaching a while back that those that don't awaken within will go through a new education, basically, to learn who they are. It won't be their third eye and their awakening from the heart that there's a certain amount of people that will be almost reprogrammed into a new set of rules, if you will, and will adapt to it. That they won't come to it in their own. So I don't feel like anybody's the teacher or anybody's the one. The one. I think we're all the one. Each one of us is a cell.
Yes, absolutely. We all have our particular role as a particular cell, as a particular piece of the puzzle to play. That's it. And some people just aren't ready for, the 1,500-piece puzzle yet. Some are still in, Disney's Aristocats, 25 pieces, put it together. Agreed. The point, that's why I did not want to get into that particular debate. It is, and it would be a debate. That's what it was turning into, and I didn't want that. This is about reaching those that are ready to be reached, and where we get our minds right first. Well, I know who I am now. I'm certainly not the name, and I know exactly why, and I know what they were after. They were after the divine feminine. You see, with me, it's always been about, never mind the who, where, what, when, and how. I only cared about one question: why? Because everything else falls into place after the why. In the beginning, there was the word why, tree of life. Why? There's a word and a sentence all in one. Why? All you got to do is put the question mark.
Yeah. It was the patriarchal, that got us out of balance. So now it's about the matriarchal until we balance out, and then it's both. And
why were they after our feminine? Why were they after Mother Creation?
Because they were about destruction. So that's why I made the comment earlier about, what's happened here is trespass on the divine feminine principle itself, which is ultimately the Mother, which brings in the earth and the sisterhood covenant.
Well,
we're
dealing with entities that cannot create. This is the fundamental. And the only way they can create is to get us creating for them using our divine feminine essence. That, for me, is the fundamental bottom line. They're thieves.
Okay, but we want to put that, we also want to hold that not in future or even present tense. Like I notice a lot of the language still is, I'm
still speaking kindergarten. Shall I speak the way I normally do?
No, but you know what I mean? Like
I know exactly what you mean.
Like we're putting it there when we're saying we're giving them and that what we're getting past, power.
My intention is already locked where I need it. That's already predetermined with me. I will speak in a way that people will grasp it. Yes, there are lots of words I like the word not and stuff that I do not like to use. Unfortunately, it's very difficult to speak in the positive and have people understand what you're saying. It's not that hard to do it. It takes a bit of practice, but most people wouldn't,
Hi, Carol. Can I just say hi?
Absolutely.
Hi, Carol.
So I brought you in.
She's still there. I don't know if she's
Oh, yeah, her mic's unmuted.
Oh.
Here she comes. Carol, unless she's making a tea or a coffee or something, but she's got her mic up. What's it? You there, Carol? Our mic's open.
I'm here.
Yeah. You there?
Oh, hi, Carol. I just wanted to say hi, and I left the mic for a while. I left the show for a while, so I didn't hear where the conversation went when you first came on.
Well, that's okay, honey. Oftentimes, the people that need to hear it will hear it, and the ones that don't need to hear it won't hear it. But, I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for somehow finding me and tying me into this beautiful family that you have. And I'm out of breath here. My congestive heart failure. I hate to give it a name, but just so you know that's what it is that's causing me to be out of breath for right now. But anyway, I have had a very joyous 2 weeks with all of you, and it has lifted my spirit amazingly because I have found more of the people I connect with. And one thing I just want to say before I mute out and quit talking here is one of the things I borrow from our dear Cynthia on our Wednesday night call is we need to ask ourselves, what can we do to make our lives and our world more beautiful? And I think if we get into that frequency of our mind and our heart space, that is going to open a lot of doors about how we can implement these beautiful things we're learning here. How can we make our world more beautiful? So I'll just leave you guys with that. And Tracy, I love you dearly, honey. Thank you so much for coming into my life.
Oh, thank you too, Carol. Yeah, I had no hesitation, after hearing a couple of your conference calls that I just picked up on YouTube. Actually, I kind of fluked, but I'm always asking, so it probably wasn't a fluke.
No,
there's no accidents, honey.
Yeah, I know that.
Go ahead, Tony.
Totally. Yeah, this is what I'm trying to say. Yeah, you might have some problems at the moment, Carol, but we need to touch base. We need to go through some of these medical things. You have no idea, my darling, what abilities you have. You really have no idea. The stuff that we could explain to you and show you how you can deal with these medical problems.
Oh, honey, I have really improved. 2 years ago, I put aside 9 prescriptions. You know, they put a pacemaker in me 3 years ago, and I fired the doctors and the prescriptions 2 years ago, 9 of them that they had me on. And I feel better today. I'm in better health now than I was on those prescriptions. There's a little book that people can pick up. I picked it up at Walmart for $6.74 US dollars. And it's called The Pill Book. It's a little paperback book, and it's got all the medicines that the doctors are prescribing, and it tells all about them and everything. And every one of the 9 prescriptions I was on is designed to kill us or to make our situation worse. All it does is it masks the symptoms, but you get worse. And so, I'm well aware of a lot of things, Tony. We just haven't had a chance to talk about them very much.
Did you talk to Rick Simpson?
Right now, it's actually in the Stone Age.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, yes, and we're planning on getting not brand new, but rejuvenated bodies and going back to a younger age. And we're never going to have to die again. That's where my mind is. I don't know if you have hit that one.
Yeah, becoming avatars.
What we're trying to do is help you in this current body.
Oh, honey, I don't need any help. I love you so much. I don't give it any weight. And like I said, I hated to even give it a name because I don't deal with it. If it crops up, I just thank God that I have the beautiful health that I have, and I go forward.
Look at you hermetic.
Yeah, that's the way to do it.
I'm going to crack some calls open here. I'm not sure.
Love you guys. Thanks.
Oh no, your mic's open, so just jump in when you want and whatever. Or if you have to go. But no, your mic's open, so I'm just going to go down the calls here and see where we're at. Area code 215-86. Area code 215-86. Questions, comments? Okay. Kind of recognize that as a listener only. Area code 301-36. 301-36. Okay. Listening. Area code 313-84. 313-84. Questions, comments? Okay, can't say I'm not trying. Keep them going. We got a couple of Skype callers in here too. First one being Colin. Questions or comments? Colin, we have your mic open. Questions or comments? Casey's running for the mic. Okay. All right, moving on. Area code 66036. First 2 numbers, 66036. Questions, comments? Okay. And moving down. Okay. Area code 81679. Area code 81679. Questions, comments? Nope. Okay. And let's go to SARS. Here we go. Another Skype caller, SARS Cassidy. Questions, comments?
Hello? Hello?
Hey, there you are. Yeah, that's you. How's it going? Questions, comments?
Yeah. How are you, Kate?
I'm doing okay. How are you?
I'm good. It's Rebecca, the Giant's Causeway.
Oh, hey, how you doing, kiddo?
I'm doing well, man. I'm happy to be here. I really am.
Well, we're happy to have you. That's awesome.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, the Giant's Causeway. That's the cover of Prometheus Bled, by the way.
Oh, it's a dark, ancient source, I tell you. I'm from there, born from it, lived by it, you know. I did a music video there. I met so many entities. I met so many crazy ghosts going on up that way my whole life. It's unbelievable.
Right on. Yeah, whereabouts are you now?
I live in London.
I was going to say, because you still got a bit of your brogue going on, eh?
Well, of course, I'd never lose it. I love my accent, you know.
No, you just got this beautiful mating of Northern Irish brogue with London. It's beautiful.
Yeah, it's weird.
No, it's beautiful. It's I can hear both. They're wonderful.
Well, yeah, I lived in London when I was 7. I've lived on and off North Antrim coast and in London from the age of 7. So there you go.
Right on. Yeah, I love the inflections. I can pick them up in a second. 7, age, all the rest of it. It's all dead on.
Dead on. Keep her lit, Kit. Keep her lit.
Aye. I'll leave it open there for you, Rebecca. So
there you go.
we're just going to go down the list here. So we've got about 25 minutes here. So area code 915 881. Right. Oh, Rebecca, if you can, I'll leave your mic open here. If you can mute on your end, that would be awesome.
Okay, I'll do it. I'll do it for Kate.
All right, there you go. Okay, area code 915-881. Questions, comments?
Yeah, there.
Nope. Okay. Area code. Yeah, I'm gonna mute you, Rebecca.
Yep.
All right. Typical of the Irish, just keep talking, you know. Anyway, 954 554 954 554. Your mic's open. Questions or comments? Oh, something interesting on TV. There we go. Area code 93775 937. First two numbers 75. Questions or comments? Your mic's open.
Hey, Kate, it's Vincent. How you doing?
Vincent, how are you?
Not too bad. Hey, I called in last night. You guys kept getting kicked off, you and Tammy, but I wanted to ask you 2 quick questions if it's okay.
Well, you just did. You asked one. What's the other one?
Okay.
I'm kidding. Go ahead. Whatever.
I know. If I was, and I know you've been a little bit frustrated, so if I was hearing correctly last night, I believe you're saying never go into court, number one, and the next question was, for someone that's been, I kind of see Tracy's pointing away, someone that's been listening, gets what you're saying, the next step, my question is this, because, you know, whenever you're getting ready to do something, you might be a little bit trepidatious, but
yes.
Here's what I've been wondering. I mean, should I take my driver's license to the DMV and say, you know, in all due respect, thank you for this, but I no longer want it? Should I try to get my license, like my marriage license, revoked, or are you just saying? No, here it is, Vincent, in a nutshell. No, see, these are the things you don't have to do. What I'm trying to do is just to clear your name first. Okay? Okay. So in a nutshell, it's like this. In order to clear your name, you have to figure out who owns it, and that's the only question you have to ask anyone. You know, let's say if you end up, because you have a license or whatever, and you get a ticket, and my only suggestion is this: once you know who you are, so the only matter that's really has to be settled here is who owns the name, and it's not your wish to commit fraud by using something that does not belong to you. It's obviously state property. It's been registered. This is not who I am. This was something that my parents gave me, but they gave you, so it's actually your name. So in fact, it's, you know, state versus the state, and I'm not here to third-party interlope. So what we need to do is we have to make sure that, you know, it's not the court's intent to aid and abet me to incriminate myself by using something that doesn't belong to me. Is that the court's intent? You're going to see a judge go, ooh, okay, next, real quick. It's about empowering you. It's not about making you a belligerent. I don't want belligerents. This is the point I'm making. Right. I want people to know who they are. And once you understand that the tables are turned now, it's not about you committing fraud anymore. Once you realize that the given, middle, and last, first, middle, family, I don't care how you put it, that was sold lock, stock, and barrel. And if you're claiming use of it, you're claiming someone else's intellectual property that your parents created and gave up freely. This is about reclaiming your spiritual essence, that you are not that name, that it belongs to the state, that you are you, and that's reclaiming your divine essence. They know that. You know, it's like I said in one of the chat rooms tonight. I look at judges square in the eyes and say, I know that you know that I know who I am. Where do you want to go? You want to play? And that's,
hey, Kate, here's a good thing, though, a reason to get the live birth record, because that's where the birth date and time is recorded, and that's really important for our astrotheology.
Absolutely, you need that. And something else, too, to bring up that again, like on mine, it's very evident. I can see it. It's there with a dotted line. So the birth date that we got here is actually private. It was never meant to be given out. You see, that's nobody else's business. So what happened with Mom and Dad is they took that very private information and made it public. There's where the trap lies, right?
And they use that. They know who we are by our birth dates.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, they knew we were coming in. They knew exactly who we were, especially the troublemakers. You know, the ones that were going to take their system and shove it back up their arses where it belongs in the dark. Right? Oh, that's the bottom line. So Vincent, yes, very valid, but I don't want people picking fights they can't win. When you know who you are, you'll do what you need to do. Like I said, the only thing this is me, no one else. The only thing that I carry with me is a birth certificate, because I will turn the tables right then and there, because it says right on it, not used for identification. You want to commit fraud? Go ahead. I don't care what you've got on your belt. I don't care what you've got, what kind of shiny badge you have. Go ahead, report that one in and commit fraud, and I'll have your ass for it. Actually, I won't. The state will, because you're committing fraud, and you're using a name. You're acting in fraud to begin with. I know who I am. And I'm not going to give you my name. It's mine.
But, Kate, if we ask for that live birth record, then we're saying in a way, like, that's not fighting, but we're saying, I'm alive. This is proof of life. This is proof of life.
I know.
And we need to say it, not that we need to say it to anyone other than ourselves.
Do you want proof? Do you want proof of life? Look in the mirror.
Well, I know that.
You know, all right.
But a lot of people want some kind of
well, they need that's ego appeasement, needing something physical. That is a worldly physical thing. Granted. Okay. So let me take it to another step here. Someone comes up to me and says, I need to see some ID. You know the only thing I'm going to tell them? Is, what, are you fucking blind? I'm standing right in front of you. What do you need? What, are you that dumb or that blind and that stupid that you need a piece of paper for me to tell? No, sorry, the paper can't talk, but I will.
Well, it's a good thing you're not going in an airport, because...
No, I know that.
I don't think you'd have too much fun.
No, I understand that. Now you understand the position I take.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, I do understand. I'd rather say, be a kitchen table trooper at this point, because I just went to an airport.
Yes, Tracy, I don't want anyone doing what I'm doing. I have this piece of the puzzle. You don't need to find it. I've already found it. What you guys need to do is find your own and make...
Hey, don't make this...
No, Tracy, I'm not talking to you.
Okay.
I'm talking third-party general, and stop taking it so personal. Please.
Stop being so personal.
I am on the air, hun. I'm speaking to many people. I'm speaking to myself as well, okay?
Well,
this isn't the Kate and Tracy show. This is just getting the word out.
But how many bright lights do you think you've attracted? You've attracted, like, a lot of listeners
one or two.
Are there. Exactly.
Agreed. And believe me, if they've tuned in more than once, the first time they tune in, well, that was a free will choice. And they tune in a second time, well, they've made a free will obligation. If they want to, this is the whole point, Tracy. If I'm talking to no one, it matters not to me. I am uploading every time I open my...
Tune in the third time, it means they're probably not TV watchers, which I have to say in my geographic location.
Oh, I would have to agree.
TV watchers, and therefore I look like a complete lunatic, because reality is, here in the international community at this point. There's pockets, there's pocketing up happening, a very awake and aware and progressive, I would even say fifth dimensional communities. I'm seeing and hearing all kinds of evidence, cannabis being
being used and stuff. I mean,
in restaurants, we're there. Some places we're there.
Well, I'll take let's take Vincent as a prime example. I don't know when you started listening, Vincent. I don't know how you came across what we do, or I would happen to say that our shows are beyond informational. I'm sure they are mildly entertaining at some points, especially when I get off on one of my spins. But the point being is you guys are here. Why? because you're looking for something in as much as I'm looking for something. And what we're doing is we're interacting, and, like I said, I have my piece of the puzzle. Everyone else has theirs. What yours is none of my business.
What if we're not looking? What if we're at the point of sharing, like the Pleiadians? We're disseminating information. We're not looking. We're just sharing. I just want to neutralize this.
No, there's no neutralizing needing. Again, this is a debate that is irrelevant. I'm not debating anyone. I'm just agreeing with everyone having their own piece of the puzzle that I have no business stepping on. I have my piece. Hang on, Trace. I am holding my position here. Okay, I'm the one with no ID. I'm the one with no contracts anywhere. Okay, not everyone is ready and willing to do that.
No, we know that.
Right, and that's all I'm saying. It's a quandary. I don't want anyone doing what I'm doing because they're not me.
No, I know, but if they do it, they'll come into it on their own.
Right.
They're not going to do it whether you're doing it or not.
Absolutely, that's my point. But the thing is, the piece of the puzzle that has been solved with me standing where I am is I'll hold that position. So people can do whatever the hell they want with ID. I don't care. I've got this one. This is mine. That's all. Nothing more, nothing less. And I will not yield this position to the left.
Okay, well, I might just write this guy, the CEO, I was told, by the way, Vital Statistics, the CEO, and I have to write a letter why I want and what I'm going to use it for. And I'm thinking, wow, this is very patriarchal. Like, I have to, so I think it's a great opportunity. So I might just say, not only do I want my own live birth record, furthermore, I want you to release the live birth records of everybody else in this Turtle Island for free, out of commerce.
Well, okay, well, again...
what happens? It could be the twinkle of an eye thing.
Well, with me, that's exactly it. As I said to you earlier, when I put something together, all I'm writing is a seed. Plant it. And I don't care. Hang on. Jesus Christ, hon. Stop. Fuck me. Unbelievable.
Oh! Is that an invite?
Sorry. I am ethereally spoken for. My heart was given away. It will never be returned, and I'm good with that.
Aww.
No laws required.
That's hard. That was looking for the body, but that's okay.
I know. It's okay. I'm a walking three-way. Yes, I'm a very interesting being to be with. Get over it.
Oh, brother.
I know, eh? This is the shit I deal with. But anyway.
I remember when I... Go ahead. I don't want to interrupt you.
Let's get down in person with Kate. No, thank you. Let's move on.
Come on, you love it.
I was going to say the first time I ever heard Tracy was a few months ago when she was going head to duking it out with someone about OPPT, and I was like, who is this girl? Yeah.
Oh, no, Tracy, when Tracy gets going, you can't stop her. That's that bloody centaur, Sag.
And now
that was Bob.
Now I listen to her every Sunday. Her and Dean do a show, and I listen to that on Sunday.
It's a good show with Wolf Spirit. Yes, absolutely.
Wolf Spirit, yeah.
Oh, thanks, Vincent. Cool. That's good to know that we're being heard. That that we just kind of winged that. It came out of nowhere a few weeks ago, so it's been fun.
Well, absolutely beautiful show.
Yeah, word gets out quickly, eh? We're only connected to a few 100,000 here.
Hey, you've tuned in as well, Tony?
Absolutely. Yeah, it's an awesome show. I reposted it on Facebook and all sorts.
Yay.
It's what we do, This is what Synchronicity is. We join the world. International, right? Actually, I don't like using the word nation. It's like the Magi nation. No thanks. I'll stick to just being me. I don't need a nation. The nation. Oh.
Well, aren't we each, if we look at it that way, where each of us is a sovereign nation, a state?
No. I'm actually an E-state. I am no state. I'm spirit. I have no borders. I am infinite. This is the lesson I'm trying to share. You are infinite. There are no borders. There is no permission required to go pee in the morning. I'm not sure I've ever asked anyone if I could or not. I just did. Same thing.
What was it that Yoda said? What was his quote? You're not this crude matter. We're not this...
Yes. No.
Luminous beings are we, not this crude matter.
Yeah, and he said a few other things that were quite poignant as well. This is why we've gone beyond the believing. We're in the age of Aquarius now. We're in the age of I knowing.
And by the way, that's how long they have been playing with us and giving us hints and clues, like in the movies, like right back to the beginning of the movies.
Well, everything is a clue. There's no answers in this physical realm. It's only clues if you can see them. That's the Yellow Brick Road, Hansel and Gretel. And you better be both. And you better be Cain and Abel, male, female. That's your magnetic creation with your masculine intention. Get them together, right? They stole the creative feminine. Now we know we have a way to regain it, and we just have to think that into existence. It's not a piece of paper. It's not an email. It's the intention. When I send an email, I'm not sending anything other than intention. That's it. Through the ether. What is the ether? The ethereal, the spirit realms. The Ethernet. Not a fluke.
So it allows us to become whole, eh? Like when you think of it, it's processing. It's keeping the energy flowing so that we can be whole, merge, and become whole.
Yes, there is to be whole is to be the void of creation. We need to get that back. That's all. And this is what I'm trying to get across to people. This is about reclaiming that part of you that was stolen at birth. They stole your spirit, your creative, feminine, divine essence by virtue of contract.
It. Is that the right word? Usurp?
Yes, absolutely. And this is why we can now turn the tables, because the intent was clear to defraud. By their actions they are known. Or haven't you seen a police officer lately? Or haven't you seen a government? Or haven't you seen tax forms? Haven't you paid tax at the till? These are all forms of fraud. And the only way they could get us doing this was to make sure that we were in dishonor. We were in fraud. This was not a question of their dishonor. That was pretty obvious. So I had to figure out what the hell are we doing that is actually worse than what they're doing. And again, we cannot beat up our brethren, you see, because they got duped as well. Their feminine creative essence was stolen as well. And when they speak, not knowing who they are speaking in fraud as well. That's why I will not ask for anyone's name other than on the air, just to be sociable. But it's not a contract. Okay,
so you're out and about, and a corporate policy enforcer approaches you for no reason and starts to interact with you, and you're not about to be trespassed on, so you inform him or her.
Is this before? Hang on, is this before or after I hike my skirt up just enough?
Now look who's going there. Okay, come on. Okay, work it any way you have to, sister.
Damn straight.
How do you at that point? Because this is what Dean was saying about the good thing was about his stint in Winnipeg Remand Center was what we realized is nobody's going to get left alone. So I mean, if you get into an argument and they haul you in, you're not going to be left alone. We know the law. We know how to rally and look after each other. But that hard line that you're taking, if you don't stay pretty close to like safe zone, let's face it. Never mind airports, but there's a lot of things you're not going to be doing to avoid that. I mean, let's face it. A lot of people, and I know what you're saying. As long as you're aware, it doesn't matter if you're carrying the documents or not, right? I know that you're saying that, but. You are playing it. You're playing it pretty safe.
I'm actually not playing it so much safe as I'm playing it so that I'm not far from the computer.
Right. We just lost you.
Uh-oh.
No, I'm here. What I was trying to say with the hiking of the skirt is how seriously I take these morons. I don't need a piece of paper to own them. To make them fools.
Well, okay, I got my driver's license.
That's me, though.
After not, okay, I didn't have it. I let it expire, and I thought, okay, I know exactly what I'm doing. I'm just going to, insure my vehicle. And I noticed the insurance said, must have held a valid driver's license for 10 years. Well, I had held one for 35 years, and no problem, so I just let it expire. But then I had all this other activity going on, so I became targeted by the BC IRSU. But anyway,
so you had a
driver's
license for 35 years.
Well, yeah, I'm 53, so not one, like it expired, but I'd renewed it regularly, before it expired.
Just a head up.
Sorry, I thought you were a lot younger.
Just a heads up, guys.
Thanks.
We got about 5 minutes left here before we get bumped off, so I just want to let everyone know that. But I'm going to. Hey, Tracy, just let you know, I'm going to continue this tomorrow night. This is subject matter for tomorrow night, and I will be downloading, and I'm just going to have. I need to go meditate just to let the rest of this fall into place, and then I'm going to continue this tomorrow night, and hopefully I'll be a whole lot clearer.
Yeah, sounds good.
Again, with the Gemini, the communication, that starts with me. And any failure to communicate is on no one else's part but my own. And as I was saying to Carol earlier, this is my frustration in not being able to, and I've said this to you today as well, of not being able to convey it as simply as I want for people to get it. And it's not a matter of it just being ethereal. The concept is almost crystal clear for me. It's just finding the way to convey it, to write that song, and that's what I'm working on. I'm just waiting for the rest of the lyrics to get to me. That's all.
Mhm.
So, and that, you know what? And this is when we have these conversations, especially on air about this. This also helps me work it through, and that's why when I was talking to Tammy last night before we got knocked right off the air, I got bumped no less than 15 times last night to get back in.
I heard that. How come not tonight? What was the difference?
Intent. Again, this is last night was a joke. It was. So I don't care anymore. Right? So they can do whatever they want. They can bump us off the air. I'm still going to keep saying it anyway. Whether I'm on air or not doesn't matter. It's going into the Akashic. That's the spirit breath called Ro. That's the Greek letter Ro, which means spirit breath. Right? So I don't care. I don't. I don't give them any permission. I don't grant them any power. And I'll tell you, when you reclaim your feminine divine, certain things change. You feel the shift. And I'm feeling the shift.
Well, I'm feeling it because I'm feeling the dragon shields, the men who have discovered themselves and are as fiercely protective now for all of us. That's why I'm feeling better too, because the men are stepping up. It's the divine principle in nature that's rising up in all of us. So I'm really feeling a coming together for sure. It feels great.
All right. Well, I think we'll wrap this up here just before we get bumped off anyway. So Tony, any final comments or?
No, it's all cool. Everybody's handled everything tonight quite well, so it's all good.
Yeah.
Syncrenicity.com for headlines. Apart from that, God bless.
Absolutely, and people give Tony a little credit. He's got to put up with me a lot more than everybody else, and I am one intense bitch. I'm on a mission, and don't get in my Leo way. That's my Leo ascendant, just rocking the house down. So. I got 2 Mercuries running, 2 Mercury outboards on this boat. So I'm not about to let anyone fall through the cracks that I'm able to close that crack up, so they won't fall through. That is my intent. I will save those that wish to be saved of their own accord, of their own free will choice. I am not here to save anyone, just merely hand out life preservers, and we all swim to shore together, and we have a party on the beach. That's the solution I see. Hell of a party.
Sounds good. Okay, thanks, Kate.
All right, no, thank you. And again, we'll continue this on tomorrow night for everyone, 7 to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time here on Critical Mass Radio. Of course, the links go out through Facebook and on Skype for all the Skype groups. Don't hesitate to contact me on Facebook, kate.rene.5, kate.rene.5. Remember, my messaging is a bit of a pain in the ass, so I will do my best to answer. Just won't make any promises at this point. It's just too busy. But much love to everybody. Thank you all for your input, your insights, and your tolerance of myself. Yours truly, the mouthpiece, Kate of Gaia. And again, thank you, Santo, for... Wow, when you guys see this chart, I feel bad actually having it now. Knowing what it is, it's just beautiful. Just take my word for it. This is beyond anything you've ever seen astrologically. It'll blow your mind. And Tony, thank you so much, as always. And Vincent, Tracy, Carol, Rebecca, everybody that was in the call, thank you so much. And we'll catch you guys tomorrow night. On the flip side, another outside the box, cosmic blueprint, open forum, let rep. So much love to everybody. Good night.
Bye.
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 Night.
Good night, guys.
God bless.